working. Oh, Discord isn't working. What's wrong with that? Big yikes. All right, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. Well, I'm not even on the mic. I'm not even... yeah, wow. I retire. I quit. Might as well shut it down. I'm not on... I'm saying I'm not on the mic. I'm not on the monitor. Oh, that's why. My daughter was playing PC games on my computer. Supposed to be my work computer, and she's moving shit around. Anyhow. What is this? Anyhow, today we're going to talk about The Walking Dead because I'm getting a ton of messages on social media asking about thoughts and opinions on the Rick movie. Now, I'm not getting a whole lot from Tales, excuse me, and I can see why. A friend of mine watched it early, and they let me know about some stuff. The retcon they did for the alpha episode is like gutting. I'm just waiting. I didn't ask for details, but I'm waiting to see how they do it. But we're going to get into that. But he told me, and usually the way it goes is he likes the current show a little more than I do. So if he really likes an episode, if he loves it, I'll probably like it. If he thinks it's okay, I'll probably not like it, and then so on. And if he thinks it's bad, I will despise it. And he said 102, which is this episode you see on screen with the main character in the trailer getting killed in the original trailer they showed on Comic-Con. Keep it up, AMC. You guys rock. And the fact that they connect 102 with Season 1's iconic... Oh, wait, I don't think I'm supposed to say that. Hold on. I think that's supposed to be like a surprise. Fuck it, anyway. They connect it to a street, a fucking background scene in Season 1. But it's one of my favorites. It's the No Gas where Rick is... I think it's that one. He said either Season 1 or Season 2. I think it's Season 1. Anyway, the No Gas one is Season 1. I just forget if he said it was... Let me share this. Hold on. Anyhow... So I wanted to go over my thoughts and opinions, and I thought since it's been a minute, screw it. Let's jump on. We'll talk some, and you guys can kind of clue me in on how you've been enjoying The Walking Dead. Now, the main show hasn't come back, so my opinion since my last video hasn't really changed. This channel's taking a break. We've been playing video games in the meantime. That's it. We're taking a break from content, playing some video games. I got some new content coming out. I think it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be fan. Haha. All right. Let's see. Actually, let me pop out the chat. Who was that? Devil Jinx. Thank you very much for the dono. I'm going to get you on the leaderboard here while we chat it up some. I have to pop out the chat real quick. Where's the chat at? One thing that crushes me, you guys know when I reviewed Season 10, I liked Episode 2 a lot. That was the focus on the Whisperers. Now, I don't know why I said it like Whisperers. Now, I like it a lot based on the solo construction of the episode, not where it sat in a whole season, because it was clunky, jumping from the Whispers to our heroes. Anytime they do that split storytelling, they used to call them bottle episodes back in the day. I think split and blended is what I use on this channel, and I think that's a little more accurate. Bottle episodes is kind of like, here's a location, here's our character, or characters, one or two, usually less of the cast. But the way they do it in The Walking Dead, that way they don't have to pay everybody per episode, is they'll split it up. So they pay, the lead characters of the Whispers, and they put them in an episode, and then we focus on the enemies the whole episode. So that way they're not paying Rick Grimes. Well, he's not in that season, but they're not paying Daryl, you know what I'm saying, for appearing in a blended episode. And I think the contract's a little bit mixed anyway, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but Daryl and Carol are still under their mixed contract, which is a hybrid of what they originally did. That way they can actually cross over into other things without renegotiating the contract. It's been a minute, but correct me if I'm wrong, but that's still active. Anyhow, long story short, I liked episode 1002, and what it did was it showed Alpha beginning the Whispers. Now with the Alpha episode, and pause it if you don't want the spoiler. Maybe I won't say it. I'll put it this way. They retcon the origin of the Whispers, and I fucking hate it. You know why? because it was Alpha in 1002. We have Beta taking the mask, the very first Whisperer mask at the very end of 1002, the shirt from his buddy. You have Alpha teaching in the very beginning of 1002. Alpha is doing the whole zombie shit with Lydia walking with zombies. She's already a fucking Whisperer. Now maybe they're gonna say like, Alpha meets this group before 1002, but my friend tells me it's pitched like this. This is supposed to be told by Lydia's perspective, which is fucking dumb because it's not. It's literally a blended episode with flashbacks. It's not a story that's being told by somebody. So it's pitched like this. Lydia is a unreliable narrator. There you go. Boom. So now 1002 is bullshit. It may or may not have happened that way, which fuck that, man. Just fuck that, bro. And here's the thing is, the Whisperer twist with Alpha, from what I'm hearing, is the only reason to have a Walking Dead episode with Alpha. So without the twist, they had nothing. So they retcon the story in this to make a twist. Let me get this. I don't even have the, where's the tips up? Oh, you know what? I wasn't even going to do a leaderboard. Let me pop that up. Fuck it. We'll do a tip thing. Top tipper, Jinx here. I was just going to throw it up that we have, nah, you know what? We don't need to do that. We'll just do the tipper. Yeah, we have text to speech. That's it. We don't need to, we're not doing members either, on the channel. Anyhow, where is my, now that I have the chat popped out. So, initially, just to give my thoughts and opinions, and I want to dive right into chatting with you guys, but from what I'm hearing with The Walking Dead Tales, my speculation is Tales feels like a desperate move where they're trying to see what works the best. They're going to make a bunch of random episodes. A couple are going to be comedic, a couple are going to be dark or gritty, or like they're going to try to do different things, and then if one of them blows up, that's the new series. Maybe not those characters, maybe not that exact story, but they're going to go that direction. And I think what they're fishing for is where they failed with World Beyond. World Beyond was a desperate gimmick move for a younger audience. Point blank, period. That was their scope, because when they're looking at their analytics, they are plummeting at the time in social media. I don't know what's a good social media real estate, which means they're not getting a lot of trending traffic the way fucking random TikTokers are and shit like that, which is understandable. But the point is, younger people mostly use the internet to blow shit up with social media. They want a younger audience. They did World Beyond. It failed. Now they're doing Tales from The Walking Dead. And apparently from what I'm hearing, the first 4 episodes is a mess. Episode 3, I think they said, my friend said, is actually good, except the retcon. It depends on if you like it or not. But here's Alpha in 102 teaching Beta how to cover himself in guts. Not there, but that happened right around that time. Here is them walking with zombies. This is Lydia, and I think Lydia has been cast by 3 different actors, which is dumb because the actor that plays Lydia normally has such a unique look. It just doesn't work to recast her so many times. You're like, who the fuck is that kid? Oh, it's the recasting of Lydia. What is this, HBO? You remember watching early seasons of Game of Thrones, and they keep casting the person differently each season? I think Joffrey was casted differently like twice early on, and it's like, wait, who are you? It's either him or one of the other Lannisters. Anyway, so yeah, this gory scene was awesome, but this is where they were walking with the zombies and Lydia screams. So her origin story with the walkers, how they need to be like zombies and they have to be dead inside and empty. They think about nothing. They feel nothing. That is them. They are nothing. The origin story for the Whisperers is there. Now, given some of this episode is a bit cringe, looking back on it, I see what I liked about it, but man, was I cutting The Walking Dead a lot of slack. Like, there's a moment where her and Beta are stabbing zombies, and she's literally like, I wish I can find it easily. I don't want to waste your time, but she's literally like, oh, there's a zombie. And it's like, oh, wow, that penetrated his skull. Get the fuck out of here. What's all this stupid shit where they're just, dead? I bet you I'm not, on live stream right now, I could probably take a knife, jam it into my skull, and then go get stitches afterwards because it wouldn't penetrate. Hurt like a son of a bitch, probably leave a permanent indent in my skull. But give me a fucking break. Anyhow. So yeah, I cut a lot of slack. And then this new Tales from the Walking Dead is a mess. It looks like a mess. This trailer is terrible. Oh my God. I mean, it's early Walking Dead, so it's like, oh, that's neat. And then you have this shit. Wait, you know what? I don't even have this on, actually.
Everybody's fine.
Yeah, everybody's fine. No, it gets one of those, we got a bunch of Karens in The Walking Dead. That's what we're going to watch. Anyhow, apparently this is the tanker, or this might be the tanker from season 1. Remember when Rick is walking through? See the gas station? I think this is the one. I have to look at it now, because it's supposed to be from it. Or maybe not that gas station, but they're going to it. I don't know. Yeah, just wow.
Fired. What? You're fired.
Yeah, this shit. What the?
What? You're fired. What? You're fired.
What the fuck has Walking Dead turned into?
Deja vu.
What this mess?
Go to hell.
I can't even watch it. I mean, it's like a crash, but I can't watch it because I'll get popped online. Now, here's the weird thing. Doesn't this look like she's dying? And she also has her throat covered up. So, did she get bit? And then, this is her after? Before she dies, but she gets blown up? Either way, this looks fucking dumb. So, one thing, let me pop up another image before I have a cringe coma and pass out in front of everybody here. One thing that I want to cover that I get asked a lot. Ronnie, are you excited for the Rick series? And it's a simple answer. No, yes and no. Yes, I am in theory. However, do you see what they're doing with Tales of the Walking Dead? It takes place in Ohio. Guess where they filmed? Georgia, where they filmed the main show. Not exactly where. I think it was a different county, but that's besides the point. Look at the background from this show. You see the same shit in Tales of the Walking Dead. A little gas station location, a little cheap office location, and then you see what? You see the same shit most places. You got this location, the same shit. Same thing with Tales of the Walking Dead. The first episode 1, the first promo image was Terry Crews walking on a train tracks. Like, bro, come on. And they reuse, oh my God, I forgot about this. They reused the Terminus set, and it's supposed to be a different location in Ohio. Holy fuck, how cheap can you get? Like, absolutely, holy fuck. You can't, I mean, really, you can't even CGI some other shit to make it look a little something different or something? My God, like, I don't fucking know. I don't even know at that point. Terminus is one of the most unique and iconic, like, you look at it and you know, oh, that's Terminus. But I thought it was a joke. I thought people were using a similar location than Terminus. No, they fucking used Terminus location for episode 1. Holy fuck, man. All right, here, let me get Rick on the screen. I, in theory, I love Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera. In theory, I love Rick and Michonne. So I would love a Rick and Michonne show, movie, whatever. Couple problems. Rick is a few years ahead. I don't trust AMC to do this well. Michonne likely shouldn't even connect with him until the very end of season 1 of the show, which means it can't be a one-off. It has to be more than 2, you know? It has to be more than 1. It has to be 2. This is insane. This is insane. So yes, in theory, I want to see more from Rick and Michonne, but I don't have faith at all in AMC. I don't think it's going to be any good, and I think the budget is going to be terrible as shit. But this is probably one of the only Walking Dead releases where I'm going to sit down and actually watch when it first comes out. However, I'm not giving them any slack, any praise, any credit whatsoever until I see a trailer, an actual trailer. Once we get it and it's boom, and I'm like, okay, there's promise there, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Until then, you do not secure my view day one at all. Now, let's go into some of the comments. I think I could pop some of these on screen as well. Just make it a little more interesting. They should have known what works best. They have 5 sets of series. Yeah, you would think, but not a chance. Not a chance. They're a little bit lost in the sauce, apparently. I heard Tales is going to have a musical episode. I keep hearing about that. I'm not really sure if it's a done deal. I know they said they wanted to do that, but we'll see. If they have a musical episode, the days of The Walking Dead are done until they sell it. Fucking sell it. Please sell the franchise to somebody else. Ronnie, it makes Z Nation look like less cringe watching this shit. It's amazing how far The Walking Dead has fallen. It's fucking amazing, you know? This series could have been so promising. Oh, absolutely. You know, they could have taken this series and it could have been the zombie genre version of the original MCU. Now, I know the MCU right now is currently kind of going through a little bit of a stutter step, and it's understanding, you know. They had a long run. You got to mix it up a bit. And it looks like all they're really doing to mix it up a bit is kind of just tweaking some things in really generic and superficial ways. They're spreading it kind of thin as well. I think the biggest problem with superheroes, and this is why The Walking Dead could have easily blasted past them, the biggest problem with superheroes is, one, how we write them, how we write their stories, and 2, how their stories have to be written. That's a two-parter that's real weird, but it's kind of like the secret puzzle to superheroes. The word super is the biggest problem with it. Why? Because with superheroes, the whole world's got to be at stake. It's always got to be huge. It's always got to be what? Super. Now, if you come in to write a superhero show, you can do fantastic themes and stories and yada, yada, yada. It doesn't always have to be a MacGuffin and a world coming to an end. Those are tricks, those are outlines they use to get, you know, shitty writers to write okay and decent writers to write pretty slick, you know, because you're following a tried and true formula that absolutely works. But we're getting the world saved so much, we need new types of freshness injected into it. Now, The Walking Dead as a franchise could have been insane as a franchise. It could have been killer had they just pumped a little bit more money into it and focused a little more on some of the realistic, like, here's the one thing that's mind-blowing. The reason they have everyone together is because they, right now, they have been too stupid to realize there's one crucial thing that they would have done had they been a real community. Discovery. What did we do back when we were just a bunch of fuckwads back in our day? We built ships. We tried to discover shit, right? It doesn't matter. The world fell. We know what the map looks like, but we don't know what's out there. Rick and the gang and all them, they have grounded, but now they need to split the show up for whatever reason. Well, what do? All right, let's split it up into little nodes of discovery. You know, Rick and them go this way, and some of it, they don't mean to go out that far. They don't mean to go out. They get sidetracked or lost, or, you know, they're on a boat that crashes and they go downstream, and next thing you know, they're kind of sort of lost, but then they're in the middle of this fucking, like, you know, whatever's going on in the area, and or they can even communicate. So you have like this kind of cross-pollination with the other Walking Dead franchises, and it's so like organic as well, but you pitch it like this. Well, you know, we can't just spread them all out and have them all these characters going out and doing these discoveries, because it's going to take them months, at a time in certain locations to go farther out, yada, yada, yada. So what we did is we broke them off into a separate show. You can follow this. It's got a whole bigger cast. And then you can do neat and interesting takes where maybe we pick up with this group, and let's call it like the experimental tales, the new what should have been tales. So we follow this group, and they're our heroes essentially. We grow to like them after 4 episodes, but then boom, Negan shows up, and Negan and Maggie show up. We know them, we love them, but we've already come to know and love this new group, and we want them to get together, but for some reason their first experience, man, it's a wrap. There's conflict there. You can spin that into something a little more interesting. You could pull the rug out from under them, and that's just one sliver of an idea that could have been done organically. But what does AMC do? Spin-off. Oh, Fear's dying in ratings. Take a Walking Dead character, throw them over to Fear. Oh, we need a younger audience. That's our corporate, by the books, statistical. That's what we're doing. World Beyond, Oh, we're desperate and kind of figuring out what we're gonna do. Let's do an anthology. We'll do a bunch of different things, and whatever shit stinks less, we'll do that from now on with a new series or movie or whatever. All right. Let me see. You guys got some comments. I'm going to go from front to back, and we'll see what out right now, and then we'll catch up. Izzy says it's maybe we're going to be jumping in the middle of other people's conversations. Let me look for the highlighted ones. I wish they kept the horror and suspense. Absolutely. Amen. Abso-friggin-lutely. Not giving Fear any more time. I'm totally done with Fear. I've been done with Fear since last season. I'm out. See you later. Yeah, Rick and Michonne have to bring the thunder, but what kind of foundation are they going to give them to do that? Meaning money. Money is crucial. You could tell a great story with little to no money. Absolutely. But along the lines, you're going to hit areas where you need that money to get out of the fucking woods and to show some goddamn actual locations. The horror and excitement definitely did it, I think, it's not an understatement. When you really go back and you think about The Walking Dead Season 1, really go back and think about it, man. It wasn't that it was just like small and contained so it was good. It was great, and it just so happened to be small and contained. But what was so great about it was as if you were just, follow along with this guy, and the world felt so big, and you were in this little bubble. This guy in a room with some strangers, and he woke up from a coma, and you're dealing with all this. You have some zombies out there. What's out there is a kind of a bit of a mystery, and it's there's a whole bag of mystery that could be opened up. Death could come from them at any moment. Like, they're in trouble. This is a dark, suspenseful. The shit's got fire to it. It's got serious promise to it. They missed that. And here's the thing is they can easily, I think they just got used to the zombies in a way. Maybe some of us as fans did as well, but you could easily have them going out on runs, being more suspenseful. But what the show did is they went like this. Okay, they go out on a run. We need our 2 or 3 zombie kills. So they kill. They get to this location, but the car doesn't start. Fucking perfect. And then they see more zombies. Fucking perfect. And then what do? Well, they got to get this little thing to fix the car, and it's over in the store, but it's locked, and it's covered with zombies. So what do? Well, he's going to go on the ladder, but the ladder's going to break. You're thinking what I'm thinking. So then they're going to go in the back, and then by the time they get there, oh, they didn't even need the car. They found another car. Yay, it's fucking, like, I shit you not. If you go back and think about that, that feels like how they wrote so many fucking episodes. It's not even funny. Like, oh, they need to go here, and then this happens, they go here, and then this happens, they go here. Like, I was just rewatching the Maggie. Remember when they did the Glenn fake out, which I actually dig the reason they wanted to do that is to put us in Maggie's shoes, even if it was kind of like a bit of a cheap fake out. But, I hate it. That's fine. I get it, but I also get where they're coming from. Anyhow, when you think about it, they focus on Aaron and Maggie for so long to escape, and it's just a feint. They're not going anywhere. All that shit they do to escape, it's just for her to have this breakdown, you know? And that's just one little small tiny example, but they do that all the time. Instead of them going, okay, here is Maggie and Aaron. Here's a situation where they're around zombies. This is how we can picture it to make it understandable that they shit themselves, because that's how fucking terrifying it would be. But they just don't seem to write it like that. They seem to write it like instructions on how to build a dresser. Like, we do this, and then this, and then this, and then that. At least Isle of the Dead is actually filming in the city in New York. Yes, Joe, that's what it would appear. And this is what I mean about The Walking Dead, AMC losing all its credit. I saw a picture of them starting to do one of the most basic New York post-apocalyptic sets I've ever seen. There was no cars, a little bit of like grime on the ground, and they were blocking it off. Now I give them a little bit of leniency. Okay, maybe you're setting it up. If you're doing CGI, whatever, but maybe they couldn't bring all the cars in, you know, because they'd have to bring up mock destruction cars. I don't know. I think in the future it would actually be a pretty clever business for someone to create caps that go on cars. I don't know how hard or difficult that would be, but imagine being able to bring in even like the crew bring in their cars. Well, no, if they got to have it set up for a few days. But I'm just saying, imagine bringing in actual cars and then having like caps go on them, and it would be old rusted caps that would just go on top, and then boom, and then that way you're only storing the caps and the cars itself, or it could be a shell. I don't know. I'm sure they have shit like that for films. You think they would. You think they wouldn't always bring on a full car. I mean, you don't need the engine. You're not going to see any of that. They should have mostly hollowed out and yada, yada, yada. Just so you, who knows though? I don't know. Anyway. So yes, I saw an image that looked like they're filming in New York, but I don't trust them. You know why? They showed us LA and they didn't film there except for 5 minutes, and then they left. So until I see the very last episode of Island of the Dead, I don't fucking trust them at all. So I'm personally going to wait until I see the entire first season and it's all in New York and it's not like this. Here's an establishing shot. Negan and Maggie walking up the street, and then now everything's close-ups with a blurry background inside some filming studio, you know? How can AMC sell us the Negan-Maggie duo? Who would go with his or her partner killer on an adventure? It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, I'll shoot you straight. I think it's because the actors are friendly in real life. They've worked on other projects together. They were both the parents of Bruce Wayne in the Zack Snyder's Superman, right? Or Batman. So Justice League, whatever. I think it's a byproduct of the actors being friends and not something realistic for the characters to do. I think anyone, talking about, oh, well, this happens and this happens, you're just making excuses for why to get them together out there, Anyway. Yeah, Rick W., they can go to abandoned junkyard, but my point, though, wasn't like, oh no, where do movie sets get wrecked cars, though? Because I do know just from behind the scenes a number of different scenarios. Mine is, how many people here have been in New York, right? You've been there, driving traffic, fucking blows. Imagine having to get a bunch of junk cars there if that area is far away from anywhere where it would be easily accessible to pull in junk cars. There's got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the exact location they're shooting, so I don't know how difficult that specific shoot would be to bring them in. I'm not really sure if, like, who knows? Maybe because I think someone said it's an area that is commonly filmed, so maybe there's already stuff that is, because even though the production companies change, you do have other companies that service them that stay in certain areas that can help do something like that. I never thought about a company that dealed only with, busted up cars, but it's possible, Cab drivers in NYC are fucking crazy. You gotta be crazy to do that job, though. Oh my God. I think driving in New York is probably, I see it as torture. Like, I fucking hate it. I've done it a few times. I fucking hate it. Like, I absolutely hate it. I also had like 40 pounds of weed on me, though, so that probably drove my sanity through the fucking roof. At this point, I'm only interested in finishing the main show and then following Rick's conclusion. Other than that, I'm laying the franchise to bed. A Modern Pioneer, I'm pretty much with you on that one. Are you a fan of the Mad Max franchise? Yeah. More the original, but I thought the newer one was decent. It would be pretty easy to get junk cars in that area, to be honest. Okay, all right, Izzy. So, like I said, the main topic I want to stay on point, though, is I saw an image that didn't have any junk cars, which would be bullshit for that street if it's post-apocalyptic, and I doubt they're doing all CGI. The reason I say that before someone says, Ronnie, CGI cars? Come on now. They used special effects and did CGI cars in The Walking Dead before. It's not out of their wheelhouse. They've done it plenty of times. They've done it a lot, actually. Even recently, yes. Fucking stuffed up. Doing some cleaning, man. Got some outside, inside pollen. I don't know if it's pollen, but North Carolina air doesn't agree with me. From time to time, it just kicks my ass. Let me back it up a bit. Doc Death says it's going to come down to motivation, but it has a hit. Yeah, it's got a hit for sure. Killing Carl really came back to bite them in the ass. And I still think that was more a technicality. Tales of the Walking Dead is complete fucking woke and feminist bullshit. I just saw a commercial for a horror movie, and I was actually starting to get interested. It's called The Watcher. It's on Shudder. I was like, oh, okay. She moved to a foreign country, and some guy's watching her from. And it had a little bit of a. It looked like it could be like a really slow burn, but it might have some potential. And this is probably like the 5th time this month where I've seen a trailer for a horror movie, indie, less heard about, yada, yada, yada. I don't know how indie that is, but it's called The Watcher, I think. And there's always a tagline, a new feminist twist on da-da-da. And I'm like, what the fuck are with these? What the fuck is the obsession with that now? It's like a trend to throw that in to taglines. I even took a screenshot of it. Matter of fact, I'll throw it up on Discord if I can pull Discord up just to show you what I mean. What did it say again? I don't understand what the fuck is the gripping suspense, a feminist twist to a throwback genre. Slant magazine. Oh God, maybe that's why. Did I share this in Discord yet? Oh, I don't think I did. Let me share the stream in Discord. All right. Henry says, if they are literally filming in New York and not Georgia for the Maggie Negan spinoff, that the budget mathematically has to be bigger, right? I would think as well, because they're established in Georgia. Georgia would naturally be cheaper. I mean, just in general, I would think between it being cheaper in general and them being established and being able to utilize the contacts that they've already made and set up, you would think. However, is that going to translate to the screen? That's the biggest deciding factor. Because if it's more expensive to film there, but they're paying just to film there, and they don't capitalize a lot on, actually being there, we're in trouble. What you're going to have is a show that has some background shots with a skyline, and that's it, Oh, thank you very much, Izzy. Isn't AMC afraid of Walking Dead burnout? Apparently not, no. Remember when they were trying to come out with even more? Apologies if you mentioned already, but are you interested in the Daryl spinoff? I tell you what. I think the
Can't disagree with anything you've said, but TWD is the boyfriend I can't quit. I will watch to the very end.
Veronica's, first off, thank you so much for the support. Your support is fucking out of this world. I do have an email going out to you from, I think it was a last gaming stream or whatever. I caught you in between streams, but I'm going to send the email anyway, just an extra thank you to you. So just keep an eye out for that. But, in a lot of ways, I agree with you totally. And someone just mentioned today, they were like, well, Ronnie, why did it take you so long to, how do we, he meant it as an insult. Let me be clear. He was like, well, you stuck with The Walking Dead so long, you can't really have that good of a taste. And it was like, well, that's, the context there is kind of missing, though. The Walking Dead didn't go, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. Oh, it's terrible. And I knew it was always going to be terrible from that point on. I was the same way. In a way, I'm still the same way. The Walking Dead main show, I'm going to watch. There's only 8 episodes left. I have to watch it. I've been watching for 11 years. So in a way, I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Now, it gets a little easier when it comes to Tales, when it comes to... Actually, to be fair, I didn't watch World Beyond Season 2. I skimmed it and quit it. But I use the excuse that I can always come back when I'm starving for zombie content, or I just want to shit talk it all to hell. You know what I'm saying? But again, thank you very much, Veronica. I appreciate the support tremendously. You guys have been awesome. I want to get back to... All right, the Daryl spinoff. Let me go back to this real quick because it's very similar to the Rick series and maybe anything else that looks interesting when it comes to The Walking Dead. I just don't overall have any faith in AMC whatsoever to give them the budget they need, which is, I think, the foundation of most of their problems. So it piques my interest where I keep an eye on it from afar, but when it comes to the trailer and when it comes to the fan base, when I start seeing that it looks like it has potential, then I will get excited. Then I will comment on it. Then I will get, it will have relevance on social media. Because don't get it twisted, a lot of some of the more desperate shit they do is because they want people desperately talking about it on social media. They want that trending. They want those hashtags. They want that interactivity. That's something that they can actually log and see right in front of them. They can view it. Man, our fans are talking about The Walking Dead. Woo, woo, woo. And then, oh man, less and less and less. So for me, it's like, AMC, if you want me back as a fan, if you want, tens, hundreds of thousands of people like me, it has to be solid. The story's got to be great. Suspense has to be there. You got to keep the gore. Focus on characters, not cliches, Focus on real stories and not gimmicks. You got to bring it because currently it is gimmick city. Someone said something about in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, they know how to use CGI and balance it with practical sets and effects. They also didn't drag the shows out. Yeah, well, that's Sony versus Sony plus Vince Gilligan feels like they really wanted to tell that part of the story. It wasn't just, well, let's stretch this out. I mean, it's nice that they have a franchise out, sure, but it does feel like a project that there's more passion. And while with The Walking Dead, it feels like the majority of people doing it nowadays is more for a job than passion. And don't get me wrong, making money and using it as a job is vital. Whether you're making a video game, comic book, TV show, movie, the business side of it is vital. But it's got to be a balance between the passion for telling the story and for those characters mixed with the business. Because here's the thing. If you want to succeed and make a good profit and fund another continuation of it, it has to be the best it can be. Right now, it just kind of feels like, we got a slow worker on aisle, 4 in the factory. Go send a helper, fire him, get someone else. It feels really generic and corporate. Are you going to be watching House of the Dragon? That's the Game of Thrones one. I think I'm out of Lord of the Rings. I was keeping an eye on it, and I think I'm out. I just gotta back away. You guys let me know if it's good. I'm done. With House of the Dragons, I'm still kind of in it, so we'll see. I want to check it out, but we'll see. I think they lost me today when I read with Lord of the Rings, they're bringing back the old villain. And as soon as I heard that, that was the last straw for me. Because then it devalues what we've seen previously, in my opinion. I'm out. I'm gone. See ya. But I'm still in it for House of the Dragon. Yeah, Breaking Bad's coming to an end. Better Call Saul, I caught up for those who want to know. I'm caught up with season 5, and I've watched some of 6, and I have to say, 3, 4, and 5 got a lot better than 1 and 2. 1 and 2, I was bored out of my mind. Once they got rid of Chuck and they started focusing on Jimmy/Saul and Kim, I was really interested in that with the Howard stuff, and then getting blended with Mike and Gus and loved that. 3, 4, and 5, I liked 3, liked 4, loved 5. I kept liking it more and more, but I still liked it a good chunk the same, but a little bit more and more. 6 is one where I'm a bit mixed on, but like I said, I've only watched some. I'll tell you right now, I don't think Breaking Bad's going to end for me where I'm like, oh my God, that was great. I think I'm going to say, all right, that was a nice little, cluster of story for that character. I just have this weird feeling. People hate Gimple all they want, but I'll forever applaud Gimple for killing Carl. Chandler Riggs sucked, and the character was nowhere near as good as comic Carl, not even close. Yeah, Dwight, I think my speculation is that's why they killed him off. I openly talked about that at the time, and the reason being is if Rick is leaving the show, automatically fans are going to look to Carl as the legacy character. Now, it's fine for Judith because she's a child. We don't expect her to take up the mantle. She's going to be a legacy character on reserve, on the back burner. But we would look at Carl to step up. He would need to be in more of the show, and he just wasn't as popular. He just didn't have what you needed for the range as an actor to really bring it. And that's something that I wish he worked on, because I think he has gotten better since he left The Walking Dead, which is a shame. And for any actor out there, if you ever hit it, big and you as a child actor, man, always work on your craft, because you're nowhere near as good as you think you are. People just overlook it because they love the show you're on. But you can always get better and improve your craft, and you should do it, because I think if he was top notch, he wouldn't have gotten killed off. I can't give the spin-offs for this or Game of Thrones a chance. As soon as the universe is ruined, it's almost impossible for me to care anymore. That's what I feel about Game of Thrones to a degree. Game of Thrones, I can't even watch it anymore, because I think the first 5 seasons are awesome, and the last season just absolutely ruins it, Ronnie, I can see them taking some screenshots or backdrop NYC and filming upstate Buffalo. I could see them filming the first premiere in New York, and then what they do is they'll go to Quebec or something, you know what I mean? Where do they film? Where's somewhere? Ontario, and they'll composite in the fucking skyline and be like, yeah, man. Modern Pioneer says the thing that kills me with the Walking Dead franchise is that getting all the surviving main characters together again would actually make a good group, but I have no faith there's going to be a reunion. No. Not yet, anyway. I do hope they make a third spin-off in a few years. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are my top 2 TV shows of all time. That would be tricky. I kind of wish they do something in the vein of it, maybe even in the universe. I mean, that's a neat idea. We do not need only horror, only sci-fi, only fantasy. We do not need only superheroes to have a universe. You can literally take this, Breaking Bad, cancer surviving, drug dealing Walter White, and turn his bubble into a universe if you have the right stories. There's a ton of stories that are amazing, and you can find ways to kind of like piece them together. But we'll see. It depends. You might start pushing people's buttons a little when you start doing all that. Talk about trash movie, They, Them. Good God, that looks terrible. Poor Kevin Bacon. Is that the one where he runs like a conversion camp? That's all I heard about it, and I was like, I'm out, bro. What the fuck, Kevin Bacon? Goddamn. The Walking Dead always had a small budget after season 1, but doesn't feel like it got noticeably worse right after season 7 premiere. Well, I'll say, I think part of the reason is because of, if you look at, if you look at the flow of things, where were we? In one, we had 6 episodes. So, all right, it's a starter project. Boom. And you have cleverly placed locations. They're stuck in this department store interior. It spills over into the next episode. Then you also have season 2, which is conveniently located on a farm. Boom. They even trimmed the budget there. Then you got season 3. They build this huge prison set that they're going to utilize. Hey, make sure you keep it clean, dude.
It just started gushing.
Oh, well, get a Band-Aid or something?
But
I love you. What? All right, daughter got a little cut. She's gonna need stitches. Go get me a thread and needle. We're gonna. No? All right, whatever. What was I talking about? Yeah, there was this. The staging of the sets and utilizing how they did the budget was good. Now, keep in mind, that's season 1 of The Walking Dead. It's a good mix. You got downtown LA. They were able to utilize it for what it was. Season 2, stuck on the farm. Okay, The Walking Dead's new and fresh. They're stuck on a farm. All right, that's fine. I don't mind. All right, the AMC fucked them over. Cool. Season 3. Oh, it's a prison. It's a new location, a new show. 3 seasons ain't shit. This show is brand new. It's an infant. Season 4, the prison's gone. They're back on the road. Back on the road. We see a couple little, areas. I think something that looked like where they filmed Terminus. I think it's a different location, more industrial. Rick goes into some suburban houses, filmed cleverly. It actually feels like a neighborhood. I forget where it was. I think it was only like a cluster of a house or two, but in the real location. But it filmed cleverly. And then you have these railroad tracks. Like, there was a clever pacing of it, but the thing is, now you're getting into the stretch. We're getting used to it. Now you hit Alexandria, and then boom, okay, we see this place, but what else you got? And then it's woods, and then it's woods, and then it's woods, and fucking woods again. So then it's the draw of the extension of the seasons that starts to bring you to really notice. And then once you get to the final end of it, you're like, all right, the actors' budgets have gone up. Filming stuff has gone up because the cast has exploded. The cast is 5 times the size of what it used to be. It is massive now. And then on top of that, you have some of these characters who've been there for a minute, multiple seasons, and they're spread out in different locations. A huge cast, different locations. That budget that you're talking about now is being, just demolished. I think around season 6, you can start seeing the breaking point of the budget. So it makes sense that 7 is where it really, because now you're already huge, you know? Kingdom, Oceanside, Alexandria. You're supposed to have multiple different locations. And then boom, here's a whole new community. Negan comes. Oh, Hilltop, Kingdom, Oceanside, Alexandria. And then Negan and the Saviors, and they have outposts and yada, yada, yada. Absolutely. The budget is going to get annihilated. And I think it shows. Think about it. The all-out war finale, 2 grown men running around a tree and a puff of smoke from everyone's gun. That was the fucking finale. God damn, if that doesn't show you that the money is crucial, I don't know what will. Softbatch says they utilized the highway in season 2 so well. I watched that herd scene so many times. I think they did as well. I loved it. I mean, given the herd does randomly show up, but you know, I can look past it because there's a lot of charm. So season 1 and season 2 are not perfection, you know, in the zombie genre, but the charm and the suspense and tension is so well done. It'll let you look past, you know, the sun's overhead and then it's off to the side and then it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, because season 2 was a mess when it came to filming because they took the budget away. And AMC was, I still don't understand that. They were like shooting themselves in the foot. Blu-ray Addict says, after Halloween ends, where do you want to see the franchise go? Start it all new with all new Laurie Strode and everything. Brand new. I want something new and fresh. I tell you what, something totally new and then do a full new reboot of the original. Just start it over. Halloween should literally be like different variations of the original. With some new beats thrown in here and there and mix it up. You might as well. I mean, we're going to have entertainment forever. We might as well take Michael Myers and do different stuff. If you only love the original, then just watch the original, you know? But mix it up a bit. Don't you think the Lalo from Better Call Saul kind of gives off Negan vibes? A little bit, yeah. Ring of Power is going to be a slap in the face of J.R.R. Tolkien. From what I hear, I think so, because if you guys hear that thunder, if we lose the stream, the power went out. I apologize, but it happens, unfortunately. From what I hear from book fans, that might be the case. Joe says, fuck that thunder. Ronnie, I just finished The Sopranos. I think it's the GOAT show. What are your thoughts on it? I really like The Sopranos, but I tell you what, the ending is a real bitch move. For those who don't know, the real ending is this, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the real ending is this. They wanted to make a movie with James Gandolfini. That's the one thing that everyone fucking leaves out. They wanted to make a movie, a big Sopranos finale movie. They ended the series. They let a little time go by. I guess the deals kind of fell through, but it was still a possibility. But then he died. And he died years later, but they always wanted to make a movie. They were not done with the character. Now, they didn't have a movie. They wanted to do some movie, so they left him alive. So they gave us a bullshit ending of, well, god damn, I know it. I know I'm going to lose power. I can hear it just. They gave us that old bullshit ending of, what do you think happened? It's up to your interpretation. You're the filmmaker, you stupid bitch. I want your vision of the fucking character. You don't put on season 1 and go, let's watch Tony Montana. Now, he's sitting in a chair. What do you want him to say? Send us your emails and text messages, and then we'll film what you want, No, film your fucking vision. That was a dumb joke. But still, the point stands. Sopranos is an amazing show with one of the biggest fuck you endings of all time. They looked at the fans and they said, we're not done with the character. Nah, we don't know how to end it. Fuck you. What do you think? Fuck you, pay me. Completely agree with your opinions on Carl, why he was killed. I think that's spot on. That's my speculation anyway. If I was a betting man, I would go there. Because logically with the story, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Rick already had that built into him about doing what he did, so it didn't make sense he'd have to hear it from Carl. It didn't. When I think of... I didn't watch episode 1. I watched some clips and I threw up a little. And that's it. I'm not watching Tales of the Walking Dead. It's fucking ridiculous. Episode 1 is supposed to be out. Episode 2 is supposed to be out tonight, isn't it? Episode 1 came out a couple days ago. Yeah, Frank Darabont had Walking Dead on point for a bit. Yeah, Steven Yeun being killed off was the best thing to happen to his career. That's true. It's taken off. He's been in some pretty damn indie films and got recognition with Oscar nod, an Oscar nomination nod. Yeah, I mean he's a one talented son of a bitch though. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm happy that he's found some success after The Walking Dead. I think that's great. Don't I love nature? Yeah, but not in my zombie shows all the time. Give me something else, you know? I don't think they can make a very good ending for the show without ending with the big hitters like Michonne, Rick, or Morgan. In a way, I agree. To this day, the best conversations and character interactions. Yeah, it's very true. Scope of the show grew, but the budget shrank. That's also true. All-out war in the snow is a complete embarrassment. Oh, in the show, you mean? Yeah, it was an embarrassment. Michael Myers in space. Anywhere but there. I take it back. Anywhere but space. They spent all the money on 809 explosions? Probably. In The Walking Dead coming... Oh, wait, is The Walking Dead coming full circle and ending on Halloween 2022? That would be so cool. Well, if you think about it, in a way it is. I mean, it originally came on October of 2010. I'm waiting for the lights to flicker. Fuck, man. I hate where I live. We're moving in October, speaking of which. But, oh, my God, I got to pack, and that's going to kick my ass. But, yeah, in a way, it kind of is. That was probably done on purpose to some degree. Sopranos ending is still genius. Bullshit. I call it bullshit. It's not an ending. They just shut it off. It's like if I paused the episode and then I said, the end, what do you think happened? Nah, fuck that. Season 7 and 8, how the Alexandria, Hilltop Kingdom, Oceanside, and Sanctuary for the seasons. They had way more locations. It was a lot more boring than the seasons with one location. Sopranos was a great show. Has anyone here seen Sons of Anarchy? I did. I loved it. I'm looking for a new TV show, and that's the one I've got my eyes on. Oh, watch that. That's a good show. It's a good show to have fun with, you know? I think they got rid of the Junkyard Group. Would have made things a lot more streamlined. Yeah, the Junkyard Group was pointless except for utilizing them as a last-ditch effort to get rid of Rick. Sopranos, Wire, Boardwalk, their golden years, HBO Cinema. Yeah, those are 3 good shows. People forget Frank Darabont's crazy emails, though. Yeah, Frank Darabont had some wild emails. I don't think they're anywhere near as bad as listen, I worked in, anyone who here knows of sheet metal work or who has had dangerous, I did roofing work, who has had a dangerous job. I know I still wear a scar on my arm. I don't know if I bore you to talk about it. I have a scar running up my arm, and I was almost killed by a CNC turret. I know they used to make a joke that I think it was like 30 or 40% of the workers, especially the older guys, because safety regulations were low, but they were always missing at least a pinky or a finger. And they warned me ahead of time, listen, you're going to lose a finger at this job. When it happens, don't freak out. Like that's literally their pitch. They're not bullshitting you. They're not joking because it's a metal press. It's coming down, it's pressing. And all it takes is a second for you to move your hand the wrong way and that sheet metal comes up, boom, finger gone, you know? Or especially if it crushes it, if it's not a clean cut and it crushes your finger, it's shattered. It's getting amputated. It's done. You're not fixing that. There's no splint to fix that. Anyway, so there was guys there working with no pinky, no, you know, whatever that finger is, I forget. But so many of this, you know, walking around. Anyhow, when you hear those emails and Frank Darabont's like, we need people to do their fucking job, I hear that and I think, big whoop. Big fucking whoop. Same thing when I hear people talk about, oh, poor Crunch making video games. Oh, your little office job, they make you work a few more hours. Oh, fuck you, you know? You know, it's like working a fucking terrible job you hate that's a manual labor, and you go to punch out and the foreman says, no, sorry guys, we're behind. Everyone has to stay another 4 to 8 hours. So fuck off, you know? These are cushy jobs, and I do think there's stress and tension, and I do think that you need to make some changes, absolutely, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I think people blow it out of proportion. Like, let's not forget you're sitting your ass down, working in air conditioning, a comfy little, and I understand there's pressure and stress, that can be crushing to some degree, but let's be honest where we're sitting here. So in context of the emails, I see a lot of the emails pushed around like, oh my God, he said the most horrendous shit. A boss telling you you're slow at your fucking job and to speed the fuck up, you stupid slow idiot. I'm over exaggerating. He just literally said in one of them, he's like, yo, you're getting nothing done all day. Do some fucking work. And I remember people like, how dare he talk to... It's like, you're slow. You're not getting your work done. Do some fucking work. I was a boss before, and people loved the shit out of me. But if you were slow, I ripped your asshole open. You know what I'm saying? What else am I going to do? Listen, man, everyone else around you, I mean... They're doing all the work, and you're like doing just a little bit, which means they have to do more to keep up production. But I would kindly like you to move your fucking ass, you incompetent prick, you know? There are bad bosses, though. But, you know, Frank Darabont did lose his shit on a couple occasions, legitimately, you know? Some of them, it's like, come on, man. Asbestos? Fuck that shit. House teardown? Well, you be careful doing that shit, brother. Anyone who hasn't seen The Shield? Shield is great. Sons of Anarchy, Justified. Watch all three of them. Yeah, Shield, Justified. Shield is one of my all-time top 10 favorite TV shows from beginning to end because it has a great beginning to end. CRM took Rick Grimes to the moon base. The zombie virus originated from deep space. That's probably about right. What is one character you wish wasn't killed off? One character you think should have died sooner? Honestly, Sweeney, at this point, I really don't even care because it would have gone the same way. I mean, it really should. It really would have. I think even early on they fucked up deaths. However, I'm fine with them dying. I don't think there is a single character where I would bring back. Oh, Andrea, sorry. I would have had them change her character though. The writers fucked up her character. That's not the actor's fault. One character that should have died sooner. Tara, definitely. Like Sons of A. I watched the Mayans. I just can't get into it. I just can't. What are your thoughts on Better Call Saul's final season? I'm loving it mostly. I'm only a couple episodes in, so literally like an episode and a half. So I don't know. Will you review the last episode of the original show? How do you think it will end? Yeah, I am. We're doing a review and a final farewell live stream right after the episode airs for the original finale, the last episode. Crunch during videos isn't just a few extra hours. Just because they're worse jobs doesn't mean sleeping in offices can cause you to have to finish a job for weeks isn't crazy. Well, again, the context there is important, though, because I see some of the stuff that people talk about it like, you know, these managers are beating people down and yada, yada, yada. We can literally sit down and solve crunch. Having, you know, you're not going to get a clean way out of it, because one of the first things we're going to look at, me personally, is where was the crunch? All right, here. Well, what caused it? Why? What are we doing? If you have a rich company that's just trying to dick people over by underemploying and adding extra hours, I'm probably going to be on the employee's side. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you're beating them in the face. No, I'm going to say, calm the fuck down. You know, don't cry about it. You got a sweet little gig. But let's solve the issue. I think that's part of where the context is, where I'm not sitting here saying like, because it's not manual labor, you shouldn't whine about it. It should be corrected. But it's the way some people talk. And I think the problem is you see a lot more of this on Twitter and shit like that, where it's just a toxic place. But no, I'm not going to accept that. It's it's like, oh dear God, cry and wail for them. Justify was, but I think we can make solutions, absolutely. And then sometimes I think some of the workers can just grow the fuck up. I mean, Sam, let's be honest. We're not doing anything for factory workers when you stop them from going home to their family, are you? No? Do we care about video game working under crunch? So why don't we care about the factory workers, you know? Listen, we as a society are getting better. I'm sure things are different. It's been 10 years since I worked at the factory. Maybe things change over the 10 years. They can stop you going out the door. Doesn't matter how many hours you worked. And don't give me that you can only work 40 hours a week and it's got to be overtime. Well, you haven't worked someplace where they fuck you over on a regular, because that happens a lot now. And I think it's something overall in the workforce that we should be treating. Justified was a great show. I'm excited for the revival season. Yeah, it is. I forgot about that. I think I did hear about a revival. Well, I'm real fast when I'm working because I got to keep my mind, just from wandering. So I'm the same way. Like, sometimes it's frustrating as shit when you have a boss that's soft and you're doing a job and you're running around, running your ass off, and you see some workers like picking away. Ever work at a restaurant where some workers like kind of picking away at something and you're running 17 orders to the table and then they finally get the label off the mayonnaise or ketchup and it's like, really, bro? Fucking seriously? Have you ever watched any of the True Detectives? Yes, I like 1, 2 is okay. I just supervise and take samples now, so pretty safe. That's what's up. Yes, The Shield is the best show. They had us working at sheet metal. I still remember it to this day. What is that symbol? Richard Joseph gifted 5 Make a Path presents. Oh shit! How does that work? We have 5 new members. Ooh. How does that work? Gavin King Joe Robinson, Mind Media. It says Mind Media twice. I don't know if that's different channels or not, but and for anyone who wonders, first off, thank you very much, King Joe Robinson. Thank you very much for that. He gifted memberships. I think you have to activate it if you are interested. And we're going to be doing member-only streams. We did 2 of them last month. We're going to do another one at the end of this month. And then we got 2 more next month. And we're going to be, once I move, we're going to incorporate gaming streams with members. I'm not sure. I think people are activating them. That's why it's repeating. On my screen, it looked like it repeated. No? JRLR? Yeah, I would have liked Abraham and All Out War and dying in it. I'm kind of waiting for these to play through. That's what's up, though. I'm looking at it because it's new. This is the first time we had gifted subs. 5 gifted, not subs, members. 5 gifted members. That's cool. It's got a little gift box. I appreciate that. I didn't think it would have been cool if they let Merle live through season 5 and then gave him Herschel's death in season 4. I'm not sure because I love what they did in season 4, so I'm really not sure on that one. I don't know if I'd want to mix it up. I understand like the connection with Merle and Governor and how that would probably play out and feel, but how does the gifting memberships work? I'd like to gift someone. I honestly don't know. Richard might be able to tell you. I will say, however, though, I mentioned something. Let's hang tight on the membership soft batch, just because I did mention something in the beginning of the stream that I wanted to start talking about, that we were going to chill on the memberships thing, and because I'm shifting some things around. Not at the beginning of September, though, so we're still good for this month. We still have stuff coming out this month that will be able to kind of sway things, but and I'm not wholly sure on the switch yet, but we might be switching live stream locations to the Ronnie Hayes channel. So just hold on. And again, it's not going to be till September 2nd. The plan would be to start with The Last of Us remake. I have some other plans in the works. You guys know I was thinking about doing, coming up with a new channel. So Make a Path Presents would be the main hub. We have a few things for that we're doing, but right now we're taking a break where we're just enjoying whatever we want to talk about. Like today, we're just talking about The Walking Dead because it's built up a bunch of different stuff. We talked about Stranger Things recently. We've been playing a lot of video games. Just whatever comes up that we're interested in. But I'm making a Flaw and Awe only channel where we can have the Flaw and Awe videos back with a vengeance. I really do appreciate it. But like I said, let's hold off. Let me work on something. And I'll get back with you guys. I was in the middle of prepping it. Let me look and see how many members we got. But this is good because maybe some of the members that got memberships, new memberships, will check it out. And then maybe if they'd like to support when we shift over to Ronnie Hayes, we can do that. Let me look at the memberships here. Henry said, what are your thoughts on the writers canonizing the Frank Darabont walkers? I think it falls in line with that desperation I was talking about. On the same front, I think it should have been something that naturally should have just been kind of included. Every now and then you see a walker fiddle with a handle. Every now and then you see a couple walkers climbing. I don't think they should have made a big deal out of it like, that's a new subspecies, They live in a different region. I think we're getting into desperation territory now where they have actively failed to make slow walkers a threat. And I've talked to you guys about how I feel a new outlook on what it would be like about dangerous zombies. Oh, I forgot about JP. Hold on a second. What would it be like to slow dangerous zombies? We're at 39 members on the channel, so that's what's up. Let me go back to that real quick. AP, though, before I lose track, said, I missed 30 minutes of the stream because of stupid YouTube. I see White Panda commenting that you might change the gaming streams over to the Ronnie Hayes channel. That true? After party gaming. There's no after party gaming tonight, but we got gaming tomorrow, though. We're going to be playing The Last of Us if anyone's interested. I threw in The Last of Us 1 and then 2 and played a few minutes back to back. And holy shit, I tell you what, if Part 1 remake is touched up with, forget about changing the dodge and prone. I forgot how much more smooth 2 is with everything. Picking up items, loading your weapon, getting stuff out of your book bag. The movement is so much cleaner in 2. The 60 frames per second, which is what they're doing with the remake. There's a number of different things that makes Part 2 play so smooth. So I'm even more excited now. And I want to go over that on stream. I want to put on Part 1 and then put on Part 2 and kind of show and prove some of the good and the bad, plus to hang out with you guys. So we're going to be doing Last of Us. I don't know about tomorrow. I was going to do that at the week leading up to the release of the remake, so we'll see what we have going on. As far as the Ronnie Hayes channel, yeah, it wasn't official yet. We didn't hit our goal for members, so I thought now is the time. Let's do what I should have done 2 years ago, which I had the idea, but I thought, let me slow down. What's the rush? Yada, yada, yada. And I thought, but now I'm like, let's do it. The Ronnie Hayes plays, because that's what the gaming streams are called. Ronnie Hayes plays The Last of Us. Ronnie Hayes plays this. Ronnie Hayes plays that. Ronnie Hayes plays Bloodborne. It has a ring to it. It's simple. It's my name. So it should go on the Ronnie Hayes channel. Bong. Make a Path Presents is like the hub of all of our projects. We have indie horror films we want to make in 2023 and 2024. Those would be, the trailer would come here. We'd have discussions here. There's still content here, but again, Make a Path Presents is the hub of the production. Then we'd have the Ronnie Hayes for the game streaming. More and more I'm getting people that says, yes, Ronnie, I like this, I like that, like this, but I want it, on its own thing because I don't want to follow gaming or I don't want to follow this. And it's like, fine, that's cool. At first I thought put everything on one channel, gaming and video, movie reviews and podcasts, but now I'm getting it. Fine. People don't like it all. I saw it like an old school channel, like AMC. You know, it's back in the 90s, early 2000s. You're flicking through the channel, HBO, AMC, whatever, and they have a movie, and then they have a TV show, and then they have a little infomercial, you know. Then they have the news. I saw the map channel as that. It would be one place but have so many different things. And people just don't like that on YouTube, the viewers. From what I'm hearing, this is the advice I'm getting. So we're going to split it up. So if you're just in the movie reviews, you have your own map movie review channel. And then if you're into the gaming streams, come over on my personal channel. Boom, we can do it there. Anyhow. Yeah, making a movie is going to be a tricky one. The first one if he can get it done, we'll talk about it when he's in a position. I don't want to put pressure on him. I know he's eager to talk about it, but there's a guy that I would be writing the script. So the first one wouldn't be my movie, but I'd be writing the script tailored for somebody who wanted to do a kind of like imagine like taking Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, but putting him in a Jason Voorhees environment. It's kind of like a mashup like that. Different because there's a totally different scenario around it. But imagine kind of giving you a real generic idea of what the kind of slasher killer type thing. So I got that type of concept that they want me to write. I'm writing that, putting it together. I give it to him. If he can get the funding and everything off the ground, which is literally what he's focusing on every day. He's got a business he's trying to create and all that. So if he can get that up and running, I even told him, I said, dude, let me get a cameo. I would love to get a cool death, you know? Throw me in there just to get killed. I don't give a fuck. There's a cop in the script that shows up and he gets annihilated. And I'm thinking, put me in a uniform, man. I'll get fucking... I'll be the guy who gets his teeth smashed out everywhere with a hammer, you know? Come on, man. Anyhow, that would be the first project because he's ready to go. Mine, I'm a little bit, my own personal one, I'm a little bit behind. Plus, I don't even know yet how we would fund that. I would rather grow a bit. And there's some other things I want to get in place before we do that. So, anyhow. Let's go back to... What is your favorite movie of the year so far? I'm terrible at remembering what movies came out when. I am like awful at it. Like absolutely awful at it. Favorite movie? Someone tell me what the fuck did I watch this year? Fuck, man. Hold on. Let me take a time out. I should know these things. I don't ever pay attention. Damn, I don't know, man. What did I watched X. I watched X. X was decent, you know. Well, no, Scream came out this year, didn't it? But that wasn't my favorite of the year. God damn. I really don't know. I haven't been buying movies either. So, like, I watch them in the movie theater, but I've been, like, not spending money on stuff like movies or any, you know, I don't know, just any, you know, the shit you buy when you buy shit, figures or nothing. Like, I haven't been buying anything, so I can't remember. If I don't buy the movie, I don't fucking remember. I'm sure I bought, you know what I did get? No, I lied to you. I bought this on Amazon for $6. Fat Man. With Mel Gibson. We're going to watch it this Christmas. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like a dick. Wait, I tell you what. Let me look that up. Movies 2022. Movies. Oops, sorry. I keep punching. Prey, 13 Lives. Come on, man. Anything good? Spiderhead, Men, No, Jurassic World. Come on, it's gotta be something. I saw the Spider-Man movie. I liked that a lot. See, some of these, I like Texas Chainsaw, but I like to laugh at it. But I don't know which one I would pick as my favorite. The Batman was probably one of the better ones, even though I did have some issues with that as well. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I like some of them, but they don't jump out as my favorite. Ouch. What do you guys pick? What's your favorite movie of the year? I don't have one. Imagine fast Korean walkers. Yeah. That'd be crazy. I will finish The Walking Dead, but to be honest, I'm pretty lost because I just stopped caring. I hope the show goes out stellar. Same. I'm burnt out at this point. I'm not even enjoying season 11, but I'm only watching it because I watch all this. Same. Like, I wonder how many of us. I'm going to make a poll before we end. How many of us only watch The Walking Dead to see it end? Matter of fact, I'm going to do that now. Yep, there's your options. You watch The Walking Dead because you love it or just to see it end. Did you hear about Daryl's shows confirmed for France? Yeah, I could have sworn they confirmed that originally, though. No? Am I just losing my mind? Look at this. I'm going to keep this face up. That's Tales of the Walking Dead. She just watched the newest episode. She got hit with a cringe coma. Yeah, tomorrow there's going to be a game. I can't force myself to binge the second part of the finale of The Walking Dead, so I'm in the same boat. Aiden wasn't really important to anything. He always just hung around for the main cast, whereas Sadiq had that link with Carl. Yeah, that's a weird one. Sadiq had a link with Carl, but then they just go, you're dead. I got a channel called AP Plays. Maybe rename Ronnie Hayes' channel to Ronnie Hayes Plays. Well, I'm good, AP, because then when I have a video that's not a gaming video, it just, it just doesn't fit. Plus, I already have the when YouTube gives you a unique URL? My URL is already, Ronnie Hayes / I think it's / YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, no thanks. Funny, though. If you meant that as a joke, I get it. Sadiq's death was a slap in the face for Carl fans. I hear that. Nice to see you talking about The Walking Dead again. Ron Dunn. Sexy man. That was the voice, I swear. I pick Men. It was privileged to watch. Men. I don't think I know what that is. I keep seeing a poster for it. Maybe I should look into it. Ambulance was worth a watch. I saw that. My daughter wanted to rent that. She begged me to rent it because she has a crush on Jake Gyllenhaal. I liked it. I thought it was a good popcorn watch. Have you ever seen Bad Santa? Yeah, I've seen that one. I'm doing a Last of Us 2 grounded run right now. Can't wait to experience the first one looking like that. Right? It looks amazing, I will say. When I put it on, I tested the grounded run, and I did not enjoy it. I don't like not having the listen mode. Now, hear me out. I know that they take it off because it makes the game harder, which it does. But I still think all they should do is do like really bare listen mode where you listen and it's like we hear something if something's walking. Because right now, if nothing's moving, you don't really get the outline. But once they move, it lights it up real clear. In the original game, it was like too much of an outline. In part 2, it's really good. My whole thing is the listen mode goes perfect with sneaking around. Because you're in a dilapidated a building, you're going to sit there and listen. Is something moving in the next room? And I think that needs to be showcased in the game. But maybe just not make it as clear, The Batman 2022 for Sweeney, and then Dune 2021. And I see you with some sort of Walking Dead content again. Sorry, can't handle watching video games. I don't blame you, Chief Broken Arrow. The Walking Dead flaws and all, movie reviews. That's my map. Hope you get it all rolling again. Yeah, we're going to split it up. That's the plan. We're going to break it up. See, that's Chief Broken Arrow. Perfect example. Like, you're into the Flaw and Oz, so boom, we'll have a channel for Flaw and Oz. And we're going to be moving the gaming stuff to Ronnie Hayes, most likely, which would be the first move. I know Halloween Kills is is coming now, like soon, Flaw and Awe, and that will go up on this channel. And then after that, maybe I'll make an announcement where the Flaw and Awe's will go, but you'll see. We're gonna do some adjustments, so, and it's gonna be a transition starting in September. Move over to Ronnie Hayes. This channel, everything's going unlisted except for the Flaws and Aws and maybe a few other things. And then slowly we're going to start shifting some of the older content into montages. And we'll have most likely that other channel up and running. You'll see. Please don't say Uncharted. No, I didn't even watch that. Lance is the MVP of Season 11. He's pretty good, actually. I think the actor's doing good. Yeah, I watched The Boys. I liked it this season. I have to finish to see how it ends. Invested too much time. I'm right there with you. I invested too much time to just not see how it ends. I want to love The Walking Dead. I want to love it too. Shit. I still love the zombie genre. You know, I'll never not love it. I hope they do a CRM with Commonwealth War sometime in the franchise. If they don't have that, then I'll be pissed because the CRM is pointless in my opinion. See, you would think they would do that, but it wouldn't have to be, oh, thank you very much, little Miss Ibanot. It wouldn't be able to do it right away unless they did it real sloppy. Because the CRM has Rick, and we know the CRM is in multiple stations. And we know the CRM now has a network dealing with other communities. So it wouldn't be a clean war, even if they did go to war. It would only be one section of it. Like the CRM is the military side of the things, you know what I mean? But keep in mind, it is still spread out. So it probably would be... They would probably need to dedicate a good time to show how that would unfold and what it really means to win that war. Because think about it. The CRM only has so many helicopters. They can only send so many of their army. If they're nowhere near, how do you go to war? Let's say the CRM is... Where's the one location? Fucking like New York or some ridiculous shit. Not even, but you know what I mean? They're supposed to be near Washington. And I think one of the locations was like Philadelphia, right? Imagine going on foot with no vehicles or little to no vehicles. Now you're looking at a totally different scenario. I don't know, man. And why would you go to war? I mean, why? Do you want to kill the entire community? All right, you send your soldiers. But let's say your soldiers get wiped out. Then what? The CRM is still there. The communities are still there. Their soldiers are dead. So that's a real tricky war to write, you know, functionally. Are you happy that Lance is the main villain right now instead of Sebastian? Yeah, because Sebastian's a little bitty bitch, you know? As much problems Part 2 had, I wish we had more time in the coastal section with the Rattlers. The backdrop was phenomenal to look at. If I could pick one section to stretch out, it would be with Ellie and the Seraphites. That section where you're crawling around in those dense, that dense patch of woods and the ferns and all that. Oh my God, that's life. I was really bummed out to find that section of the game that they showcased multiple times promoting the game is only like a fucking 10-minute little part of it's only like a 10-minute level in the game. I was so bummed out. I mean, so bummed out. I was even more bummed out replaying it, realizing, 60% of Ellie's gameplay is just looking around, It's not even... They have huge areas with nothing. No enemy, no infected, fucking nothing. And still to this day, I just can't fathom why. I know why in the horse area. I believe I know why. I don't think they could function the game mechanics around a horse. meaning how the clicker attacks a horse and all that. I think that got too complicated, too messy doing the animations and all that. So they said, screw it, Ellie has to get off and go. And then they kept it segmented. Tomorrow is Henry's birthday. You're going to be 20. I've been watching your video since you were in 2015 when I was 13. Is that real? No shit. Well, yeah, I guess that would make sense. 2015 was probably when I first started. Well, happy birthday, Henry. That's pretty friggin' amazing. Doesn't make me feel any younger, but thank you. That's what's up, though. I mean, Jesus, man, we're only like, 5 years apart, man? Shit, so, man, time goes by just like that. Happy birthday. Are you happy to, blah, blah, blah. What's happening to MAP? It's a brilliant acronym. Well, MAP is my production company name, and it's staying. MAP is the main hub, MAP is staying. MAP isn't going anywhere. It's just some of those, like the gaming. I think the gaming is a perfect example. Gaming is something where I can make a batch of thumbnails ahead of time or later. There's no rush. And if I keep, 30 to 100 people around for the gaming channel, it's all I need. I'm not trying to be fucking ninja, No offense to him. I mean, that's his shit, man. He was always trying to be like, top tier gamer. I mean, I forget. He was doing that shit since he came out of his fucking mama with a controller, you know what I mean? And no shade on gamers. My thing is I want to hang out with, my audience on the gaming channel and just kick it, We have a lot of fun. It's very small, very personal, very good environment, especially for a newer game. We can kick it. You don't have to worry about any assholes jumping in there. It could even grow bigger, 2, 3, 4, 500 people. That's fine. We've had streams where there was 2,000 people on stream for The Walking Dead, and it was quick, but it didn't get out of hand. So we can have a few hundred people. So for the gaming, it's perfect because it's kind of like where we go and kick it, and we kick it frequently. 3 days to 6 days out of the week. I can jump on, play an hour, play 2 hours when I'm busy. And then when I have a little bit more time, play, 3 to 4 hours, here, there, tomorrow, 3 days in a row. It's just cleaner that way. And then save the channel for the main uploads. But I think I was right back in the day when I wanted to pull the gaming off the stream. That one fucking time I had everything switched over, and then I went live, and I accidentally went live on the MAP channel, and that's because I realized all the live stream elements were signed into MAP, and I had to make a completely new one for the Ronnie Hayes. And that was the moment where I was like, we'll just stream on MAP today, tomorrow. And I got lazy and I just kept streaming on MAP. But I shouldn't have done that. I should have moved it over when I said I was gonna. Yeah, so that's my fault. Have you heard they're making Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal? No, I didn't. I heard they were remaking Roadhouse, but I don't think I heard it was Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, my daughter's gonna go nuts. You're 25, Ronnie? Yep, just turned 25 this March, brother. I'm lying. I'm 27. Nicotero and his team are the real reason I continue to watch. I mean, they do some fantastic zombies. What's funny is Nicotero and their team has been doing amazing work the entire time, without fail. Yeah, I hated that as well, Ronnie, especially the marketing had Ellie slumped against a tree, and all you did was crawl. Yeah. 50 of us need to hit up the stream poll. Where is the stream? Oh, that's actually a lot more than I realized. I expected, to be honest. I expected a lot more that doesn't love it, so I'm a bit surprised. Ronnie, what music you be bumping lately? None. I'm a soundtrack guy currently. I listen to whatever song pops up that I like. I'll play something for you. I probably have the weirdest type of music I've ever had in my entire life currently. Oh, I must have deleted it. Yeah. I think I deleted it. Because now... Oh, maybe I moved it. Yeah, what's Sound Locker? Yeah, I must have deleted that. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I think I did delete it. Because I'm a soundtrack guy. If I hear something I like, I'll jump onto it. But I do like... What's that name? Grand... How's this? Try this on for size. This is what I'm rocking.
There's a bad man, and he calls your name, and he's showing you a quick glimpse of fame, and he's leading you on what you do for a better night.
Where's that?
Down Temptation Lane, make a deal with the stranger. 3:30 on a hot afternoon, get down. There's no fear, though you soon come to regret it. There's a bad man, and he calls your name, and he's showing you a quick glimpse of fame, and he's leading you down Temptation Lane. Yes, he's leading you down Temptation Lane.
Bet you're sorry you asked, huh? Yeah, I've been bouncing around. I used to be into hip hop a lot. You know, I used to do music engineering, and I would make beats. I actually used to sell beats and sell recording time and all that. And I fucking started hating the current day hip hop. Skinny jeans and all that, you fucking lost me. You know, bunch of little bitches. So I'm out. You know, I'm out. Fuck hip-hop. I mean, even Eminem is watered down and weak compared. He could still flow, don't get me wrong, but he is just a big fucking sissy bitch, you know, nowadays. So I bet you any money Eminem's in his studio in real life, writing stuff down, scribbling it out, going, ooh, I can't say that nowadays. I bet you $1 million. And don't tell me he grew up. He's immature as fuck. Get out of here. He was mature then. He just knew what he was doing. How many of us were immature, but we knew we were immature? It was like a logical, you know? It's kind of like I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? But you know what you're fucking doing, you know? You're just immature as shit. I think immature is a new phrase for like, you know you shouldn't be doing it, but you're going to do it anyway. Anyway. Phil said, missed you, Ronnie. Been so long. I caught a live stream. Just wanted to say I really think your strengths are reviewing TV shows and other movies. You should do more TV reviews. That's a tricky one. I did get that a few where someone wanted me to jump onto another TV show. I think Better Call Saul recently, you know, people wanted me to do that season. And I think the problem is I just don't want to get stuck in the Walking Dead trap again. Like, I don't want to make a Better Call Saul review that gets picked up and goes, you know, blows up and gets shared on Reddit, blows up again, gets shared here, because it's great for that video and it's great for Better Call Saul fans. But you know what happens? They show up and then I talk about The Walking Dead or a zombie movie or some other movie and they go, nah, it's not Better Call Saul. And you know what? I think the same. No, Better Call Saul, they'll stick here, they'll watch it all. But that's not true. When I was covering The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead was doing massive on this channel, I'd stream, you know, over 1,000 people would show up without breaking a sweat. I did a review or discussion for Night of the Living Dead. I'm thinking The Walking Dead, zombie fans, Night of the Living Dead, this is going to be killer. It was one of the worst videos I've ever done, you know? People didn't even want to click on it. They didn't click on it. The click ratio was in the gutter, worse to this date than I've ever seen. And I was thinking, I was a bit shocked. I'm like, wait a minute. These are Walking Dead fans. These are zombie fans. And then it hit me. The majority of them are Walking Dead fans. They don't give a fuck. Now, there's a good amount that are definitely, and that's not a bad thing, you know? I meet most people I talk to didn't even watch a zombie show until The Walking Dead. Fair's fair. I just assumed zombie fans would be in the zombie content. Sometimes it did work, like with Train to Busan. a good amount jumped right on that review. That review exploded. I think to this date it was like one of my best movie reviews. I think like 60,000 people were like, yeah, let's watch that, you know? If I can get that type of attention on The Flaw and Awe, we're set, bro. We're set. That's perfect. If we build that type of community for those, and then keep in mind the Flaw and Awe reviews, it covers shows too. It's just it'll be broken down by scene, and it'll only cover like the greatest episodes. The Walking Dead TV show we did all of season 1 because it was only 6 episodes. We are going to do a lot of season 2 and then probably the best from 3 on, or maybe even just the best episodes from season 2. I don't know, but we will cover more. I would love to cover the pilot of our favorite TV shows, like Breaking Bad. Let me cover the pilot in a Flaw and Awe. And then if that does well, in a few weeks, maybe we cover episode 2. And then it's something slow, where I don't have to do the entire Breaking Bad show this month and next month and then get it done in 2 months, but where we can do, over the next 2 years, we sprinkle in a Breaking Bad episode every couple weeks. Just an idea. Conor McGregor is supposed to be in Roadhouse. Can he act, though? I mean, no offense to Conor McGregor, but I'm sick of fighters being in, unless they show and prove. Like, The Rock showed and proved that he can do certain shit, yeah. Saint said, are you worried Cuckman is going to mess with the story in The Last of Us remake? No, I'm not worried at all. I was originally, and I'm still a little suspect that we might see some slippery changes. Softbatch says, Ronnie, I'm turning 26 next Tuesday. We're all so youthful. I know, right? We're just a bunch of 20-something, kicking it around. Or what do young hip kids say nowadays? We're just capping. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but they came out and said the story is identical. They didn't make any changes. And I know they lied about Joel being in it, but I don't think that's something that they're willing to change to piss off people about. Plus, I don't think it's possible to change it unless you fuck with shit. And I don't think they'll do that. Favorite soundtrack? Oh, that's a good one. Damn, which soundtrack had like the most killer shit? What soundtrack I used to listen to that had I know I used to work out a lot to an old one. The Mortal Kombat soundtrack used to be crushing it. But there was one mobster movie that had a fantastic soundtrack. I don't think it might be Goodfellas. I'd have to double check. Maybe like Goodfellas or Casino. But I would damn, if I had to pick a favorite one. The Young Guns Part 2. What's Blood Money from? Hold on. Young Guns 2. Yeah. That's fucking terrible. I think it's such an ugly song, but I love it. Yeah, I can't play it. I will get popped from Bon Jovi. Grand Old Party, don't mind. She'll let you play her shit so far. I used to play it on stream all the time. She didn't care yet, so that's what's up. But Bon Jovi, they'll fuck you. But this soundtrack, because I think this had what was the one? Going Down in a Blaze of Glory. Blaze of Glory. I don't know why I said it the long way. That'd be my favorite soundtrack. Got a little bit of nostalgia as well as like overall. But honestly, one of my favorites is whatever gangster movie I'm thinking of that has a bunch of the classics. It might have been Goodfellas, but I don't know. Because they would always do stupid shit like 8 Mile soundtrack. More from 8 Mile would be like a double soundtrack with a couple bangers and then shit you didn't even give a fuck about. And then like the Casino soundtrack and then more from Casino. They always did that more from. I heard that the last 8 episodes of The Walking Dead are intended to actually resolve the story and not just set up the spin-offs. I don't think they're there to set up the spin-offs. They said that it's actually going to be a proper ending. Yeah, here's the thing. Henry and anyone else who thinks the ending is going to prop up the spin-offs, they can't. Now, I know that. I know they can't. How do I know they can't? Here's the thing. The spin-offs are going to have to connect to whatever ending they come up with. Meaning, if Daryl's in Commonwealth, we have to hear or see him leave or know about it somehow. The reason that we know now the ending can't is because they filmed the last episode of The Walking Dead a while ago. They wrote it even longer ago. And they haven't even filmed, and they probably are just now finalizing the script for the Daryl spinoff. Now, they've already got the Maggie spinoff written and started to film, and other things are up in the air. Like Carol recently bowed out of the spinoff, which means these things aren't lining up for them to know what they're going to do and cleanly. Can they hint, like I said before, if we see Daryl leave the Commonwealth at the end, well then sure, but that's a simplified setup. Oh, he left the Commonwealth. Well, whatever. I don't really count that as like a clean, oh, he left and it bridges. So yeah, you're right. I don't believe the finale is going to set up anything. I think it'll obviously, the new season, the new spin-offs are going to have to connect to it. But I'm looking for a proper ending. However, there has to be an open door somewhere because Rick's show is coming back. You got to have a reunion. You can't not have a reunion. I mean, even if they don't, you could do whatever you want, but it just doesn't make any sense, you know? The children don't know about zombie gems. Yeah, they just don't know. Saint said, I only listen to Eminem now just to hear him bring the axe to mumble rap. Oh, mumble rap. Fuck all that. By the time my kids are old enough to watch The Walking Dead, it's not the same show. People said there would be a definitive end. Going to be hard to pull that off. I agree. I think it will be hard to pull it off. But their words are always a little warped. It'll be a definitive end like they're in Commonwealth. They have restructured the leadership. The Miltons are out. And then they sit around and congratulate each other at a fucking coffee shop or, something normalized. And they're like, okay, well, now what? Now we survive, like something fucking stupid. And then they all pat themselves on the back and they're like, we've gone through a lot. This place, we're going to build it up. We're going to be we're going to be the best civilization ever. That to them could be a finalized, perfect resolution. To me, I'm just going to be like, well, that was generic as fuck, So it really depends on how they word it and how it actually plays out. Oh, you watched the review? Thank you very much, Musey. Good night, AP. Even though AP was asking for an after-stream gaming chat. What the fuck, AP? You always do that shit. Are you going to stream later? I'm going to bed. It's like, what the fuck, bro? I love a 1982 Valley Girl soundtrack. It's very LA from 1982. I'd probably like that, too. I like a lot of 80s soundtracks. Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is actually a banger. Fuck no, he can't act. Well, then he shouldn't be in it, period. I gotta look at the score for Prey. I didn't really pay attention to it. Goodfellas was awesome. I loved Casino soundtrack too. Yeah, and it's one of them, but one of them is my favorite. I would have to pull it up. AP is always going to bed. Yeah, isn't he? I still have the Goodfellas soundtrack. It's in my because my car is a CD player since I'm old school like that. And I just got the new, my new old car last year with a CD player. First car since I was like fucking 18. That had a CD player, I mean. Any Tarantino movie has a great soundtrack as well. Yeah, he does real good with his soundtracks. What's your opinion of what we know about Joker 2? I don't give a fuck about Joker 2. All I heard is it's a musical. Fucking nope. Somebody was like recently, and I think it was a subscriber, which I'm going to say this mockingly, but I don't mean it mockingly. Not to you anyway, but they said, I think it was in my Discord. They were like, yeah, but it's going to be like him and Harley Quinn and what's in their heads. I forget how they put it. But my whole thing is, it's a musical. I don't give a fuck what they do. Musicals suck dick, you know? I'm sorry, but I'm just not in the musicals. Like, fuck that. I've watched Chicago with Richard Gere. That was actually pretty good. Catherine Zeta-Jones for a musical, whatever they fucking do. It's impressive. They sing, they dance, they act. Very impressive. For a musical, for me, it's one of the things I like the least. I can't stand... I went to see a Johnny Depp movie years ago with this girl I was dating. I was so hyped. Got a hot chick on my arm. I'm going to see Johnny Depp. And he's a weirdo, like serial killer. He's a barber, kills people, right? I didn't know anything about the movie. I don't even think I saw a trailer. I just saw Johnny Depp, weirdo, fucking cutting people with a razor, straight razor. I'm there. Fuck yeah, let's get it. Me and this girl go in, and she's like, she's cool as fuck. So we go in there, and it starts. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good, man. This is going to be... And they sing. And my stomach drops. And I was like, I hope this is just an intro. What the fuck is this? And I see her head slowly start turning. Because she didn't know anything about the movie either. And then I just looked right at her. And we both went like, what the fuck? We read each other's minds. We fucked instead. No, I'm just kidding. We got the hell out of there. I mean, fuck that, bro. Come on. Shit is crazy. A musical. God damn. That was Sweeney Todd, by the way, which is a story I like, a performance I like, but I just can't stand the musical. I don't care how they justify it. I don't care if it's in his head. I don't care if he's googly eye with her. If they sing, I dip. They sing, I bounce. You know? They sing, I cha-ching, take my change. I'm out. Count me out. You want to do a musical? Go do a fucking musical. Don't give me an amazing movie and then go, and now the sequel's a musical. Oh, I don't know. It's like, you go on a date. It's either a banging bitch in front of you or this handsome stud of a son of a bitch asshole in front, right? Whatever you prefer. And then the date it's a fucking wonderful. And you go on the second date and I'm in his place. Or some 2 out of 10 is in his place. Some ugly broad, fucking didn't even shower in a week. You're going to be disappointed. In my eyes, that's what a musical is. It's disappointment. It's a bait and switch. And they should be ashamed of themselves if they go through with it. Since the announcement of Roshon, I do not really care much how The Walking Dead ends or any other spinoffs. Rick is the show and all. I have thought about every episode. Where's Rick? I think there's a good amount of people that are going to feel that. Do you think there will be a big time jump like in the comics where we see all the missing characters back? No, they can't do that. There's no way they can do that. They can't bring Rick back for a number of reasons. One, it kills the movie. If you do the reunion, time jump, Rick is there. It's confusing. What? Where did Rick come from? But it ruins the reunion. It absolutely ruins it. It deflates the majority of it. The only thing they can do is leave a little hint of some remembrance of Rick. Like in the comic, it was a statue. And then you can go, end the show with the statue. But we know, dude, there's a chance he can come back one day. They put a statue up like a memorial, which they won't do because, whatever. It'll probably be a statue of Maggie, but he'll come back. We'll know it. But I don't think they can do that. I think they can do a time jump, but not bring Rick back. I hope the writers give The Walking Dead a dark ending. Yeah, Normax says, bro, we got 107 people in the chat right now. Yeah, and we're going to keep the Speaker Geek podcast here. We are moving the gaming strictly over to Ronnie Hayes, so if you do want to subscribe to that. I'm pretty excited to mix it up and just say fuck it and bite the bullet and move those over. You will be able to watch all the old content on this channel, but you're going to have to go to my channel and go to the playlists. I'm going to actually do something real quick. If I go to this, your channel, bam. If I do this, let me show you something. In a little while, you're going to go to Make a Path Presents, and you're not going to see any videos. I don't know why it's not loading up, but you're going to go to Make a Path Presents in September, and you're not going to see any videos, except for some Flaw and Awe, some Speaker Geek podcasts, but all the gaming videos will be gone, a number of stuff will be gone. I don't know why it's not loading, but you're going to see nothing. And you're going to be like, well, where did it all go? Well, you go to Make Path Presents, and you click on Playlists. It'll all be here, but you can't search for it on YouTube. The reason is it'll be unlisted. When it's unlisted, you can then go to the playlist. Oh.
Hey,
Whoops.
thanks, make it.
Whoops. You can go to the playlist. How do I do? Oh, right here. And in the playlist, we'll have every video I've ever done. And it's separated. So if you want a gaming stream, you have to go to gaming. If you want The Walking Dead, it's all separated. Matter of fact, I didn't even know I had a Fortnite. I'm going to put the Fortnite in gaming and clean it up. But if you look at all the playlists, I have like 20 playlists. Let's say you wanted Q&As from The Walking Dead. Boom. Here's all Q&As, 146 in them. You want all comic Walking Dead videos. Boom. Here's all comic. If you want all comic reviews only, here's all reviews. And you'll have to, here's the comic cover series. I love that series, man. I fucking love this. I wish this got more attention back in the day. I fucking adored this series. Anyone ever watch this series? Man, I love making this one. What I did is I took the symbolism from the cover. Because the way you write a comic is you take the cover and you actually lie. You take a cover and you take what the story is about and you recontextualize it into a different image to where it is symbolic of what the cover of what the story represents. So for some of the issues, the cover is an exact image from inside the comic. But for many issues, the cover is just symbolic of what's in the issue. And what I do is I break them all down. This is probably one of the very first
Let's Talk.
Yeah, poorly done. One day I should redo these. Probably one of the first Flaw vs. Awe type videos I've ever done. Because we did the comic covers where we talk about where the cover, the volume, I broke it down by single issues, volumes, yada, yada, yada. So I'll talk about the cover, the zombies in the glass. And this represents Rick coming out of the coma and then entering a dead city. And that's it. This scene doesn't actually happen anywhere in the story at all. Like this specific scene. But then I break down about what happens in the story. And then I go to cover 2. And I compare it to what actually happens. They get a lot better. I'll show you later on. Cover 3, and I explain about the story. And then cover 4. This little Photoshop was some of the first I started doing that. I loved it, though. Here's cover 5. And then cover 5 was very similar to the story. They were surrounded. This is like where Amy dies in the show. They were surrounded. Was it Amy, right? And then cover 6, I show the real versus the symbolic. And then at the end, I take all the covers and I talk about how many have Rick on them. I talk about how many... Wait, I forget what it was. Let me see.
Rhymes appears in all. Make their first character first.
Oh, character...
6 covers are character first.
Character first appearances.
Characters who make their first cover appearance in this: Sophia, He's on the cover. Have
And then, yeah, zombies, character, first appearances, zombies on the cover, and then Rick.
In all 6 covers.
Rick is on all 6.
My absolute
I don't know if I would
favorite
actually
Days
count the
Gone
last
By
one
story.
nowadays, in all honesty, because it is Rick, but you'd have to be. It's not definitive. Like this is Rick definitively, but it's not. We don't know. You don't actually see Rick's face, so I don't know if I would count him, but it's supposed to be him. That's why I counted him. But anyway, then I cover the volume.
The Days Gone By story issue.
And
number
then
2.
I rate them. I rank them.
Honorable mention number 2, 3. Story arc covers. Add them in the
And then,
volume 2.
Yeah, so we did that with volume 1 was issues 1 to 6, volume 2 was 7 to whatever, and then da-da-da. I got out of it. Fuck me, bro. But anyway, they got better and better as I went on, but that's where I started really falling in love with editing YouTube videos. God damn, I loved making those. Some of the editing was slick and fun. Time-consuming for the time, though. I hope the writers give The Walking Dead a dark ending. The comic ending sucked because it was too happy. It didn't feel the tone in the entire story. I think the comic was rushed, to be honest. I don't really care that much about. Do you think DC should just reboot the entire universe? Yes. Yeah, I think so. It's a shame because I like Henry Cavill's Superman. I would give Henry Cavill, if I was in charge of DC, I'd give Henry Cavill one more go with Black Adam. They're friends. Both actors say they want to do it. I think it would be a good bang for the buck, something to give the fans. I would do it as a thank you for the fans, and it would make money, you know. But then I would say we have to start over. Whoever came before me did such a job, we have to start over. And then I would make a clever plan to build this universe where we can actually showcase some of these characters and maybe even slowly intertwine their stories in a very, in a more, I don't want to say slow, but in a more methodical way. Instead of just being like, okay, here's Batman and Superman in this one. Here's him, this one. Here, you know what I'm saying? You would do something, and I don't know, have a good idea how to cleverly start inserting them. But even a solo Joker in that universe where we focus on Joker and Batman is in there, but it's in the eyes of the Joker. So we'd have like the Joker first, and we would see remnants of Batman picking off his goons. I talked about this. How fucking amazing would that be? With Joker and his goons, but you see it through the eyes of the Joker. And Batman's always out there in the shadows. We never see him clearly. Not a lot, you know? He is now the shark in Jaws. He is now the Predator in the Predator. He's out there. He's picking them off. You know, even write it as if you're making a Predator movie with the monster that's out there picking people off. Anyhow, then the second movie would be, obviously, you reveal the Batman at the end of the Joker movie. And then the second movie would be through the viewpoint of Batman. Well, here's what's interesting, though, is you'll start noticing some of those moments where you see Batman doing stuff. It's actually the reverse of some of those Joker moments. Not every single one, but a couple of them. You'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I remember that angle from that warehouse where his goons were going in. But you have to do it in such a cool and clever way where fans see it. They're like, and this is why. There's a threefold reason for this. One, it incorporates the character, but it really bulks out the story in both Joker and Batman. Two, it is very fun and interesting in its new way to see Batman through that different perspective. Three, and this is all strategic, it'll blow up on social media. Why? Because you're going to have a bunch of people making TikToks, YouTube shorts, YouTube videos, a lot of shit that's going to trend. And what are they going to do? They're going to make all these theories and videos and point out all this shit. And that's something that filmmakers nowadays need to know and appreciate. If you want to get it up and out there, you got to do stuff, but not ridiculous shit. You got to do solid stuff to get people. Look at Stranger Things. There's one guy who has a fucking like big YouTube Shorts channel, Big Ish, and he just comes up with the most asinine theories. Yeah, Eddie was fucking number 8 in, I forget, Eddie was one of the kids in with 11 when Vecna was there, and that's why, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It'll be like, oh, Eddie's connected to this with his bandana and this and this and this, and he's like the second coming of Christ. And it's like, the theories are so stupid, so fucking dumb, but they're so insanely popular. So do it, but in a way where people are putting out legit shit. Like, look, this matched up with this character was in this one. Anyway, Drive has a good soundtrack, yeah. Loved comic cover reviews. I miss comics, The Walking Dead, so much. I love them. Can you order the content in order of release?
Great to see you live. I'll have to watch the replay later if it's available.
HFG, thank you very much for the super chat support. It will definitely be available. I'm going to leave it up for a few weeks. Keep in mind, though, if you ever find a video that's not available, just click on my channel, click on playlists, and then go down to the playlist. They're all there inside each playlist, even the ones that are not available when you search or when you scroll through my videos. You have to go to the playlist option only. That's just how YouTube is set up. Would you consider making a vid sharing your old Punisher scripts similar to how you did with your Jason scripts? Oh my God, I'd have to dig those up. I would have to dig those up, bro. That's a callback like a motherfucker. For anyone who doesn't know, I had this old Punisher script idea where I talked about starting off in the woods, and the Punisher was in all white with a black symbol. I talked about this like 8 years ago, man. Fucking at least like 6 years ago. Anyway, so it's all white Punisher, black symbol, the absolute reverse. And it was a mafia boss that's kind of held out. It's got a security shack in the back and then the big mansion. And anyhow, the Punisher rolls through. We hear some shit and the camera pans in and to follow the mafia boss. There's a few bodies laying around all shot up. He leaves the back, heads for the security shack, and then once he gets inside the shack, Punisher shows up. I forget the details, but I remember then his daughter, the Punisher's daughter, shows up, and the guy who's bleeding out goes quiet. The Punisher starts talking to his daughter, but it was, at the time, I really liked it because his daughter was like, Daddy, I told you not to, yada, yada, yada. And so he's justifying it to his daughter that shows up. And then she says something weird, and he kneels down, and then blood starts pooling on her chest. Now I would cut that or change that or tweak that, because now it 7-8 years later, it just feels kind of like done already. But here it's like the Punisher's just having a breakdown, and he stands up after having this absolute meltdown, like legit talking to his fucking ghost dead daughter or something. She's not really there. He's just losing his shit, man. He's detached. Anyhow, and the mafia boss isn't quiet so he can talk to her. He's quiet because he's shitting himself. This guy's fucking nuts. So the Punisher turns around, and the boss is legit like, dude, you are a psycho, off your rocker. You think I'm nuts? And again, I forget all the dialogue and details, but then he would shoot him in the chest, and the opening credits would be all his guts blasting out from behind the chair. It was set up in my eyes at the time. I thought it would be kind of cool because we'd get a back view. Punisher would be up front, raises his gun, shoots him. The wooden splinters of the back of the chair blow out with his guts. Even one part of his guts kind of flops out like a piece of sausage through the hole in the back of the chair. It was set up to be kind of cool, and that would be like bleeding into the graphical Punisher. It was called, it wasn't even called The Punisher. It was called Castle's Revenge. That's the first movie. The second movie would then turn into The Punisher, because then by the end of the first movie, he'd become the Punisher. Anyway, but I love that idea of having the white intro to the Punisher, because it symbolized, when I wrote it, it symbolized because again, this is a script I had tightened 8 years ago, but wrote like 10 years before that. And I think I wrote it in like fucking like 10th grade, 11th grade. The idea was, forget everything you know. This is pure Punisher, starting fresh, taking the origin story and then, revamping it in a new way. Brutal, though, because I grew up with Dolph Lundgren as Punisher, Thomas Jane, and I just wanted it brutal, gritty. I like John Bernthal's Punisher, but I wanted it even more gritty. Anyway, I would have to find that, J-Dog. I really would. Have you been buying the limited run color comics that are being released every 2 weeks? No, Sweeney, I have not. I'd gotten sick. I had a little backup of comics. There was a little bit of a mistake where I had pulled my pull list, and I guess they forgot to not pull the pull list, and then so they did pull, but then they accidentally pulled double. So there was a mistake where there's like a stack of them. And I was talking to the owner. He happened to be selling. I wanted to go up and square it away. So I got to go up and take the ones that I have. I should have only one Walking Dead issue for like 8 months. So I should have like 8 issues, and then there was another stack of like 5 or so that I had to pick up. So I had a little stack of comics to pick up. And then I don't think I'm going to renew a pull list on The Walking Dead. I'd like to look for something new. I'm looking for a new story. It's so hard, though. The comic industry right now is so filled with shit, man. It's so hard. But I'm not continuing with it. At first I wanted to in good faith, but they're putting out so many shit covers, it's unfucking believable. What the time I quit, and that was in, I think it was June last year. Jesus, that was the time I made up my mind. I didn't quit it then, but I made up my mind I was going to quit soon. Ronnie, you're sickening in a totally good way. Thank you very much. Is Rick going to be 80 years old killing zombies because they simply couldn't let The Walking Dead die gracefully? Maybe. Am I going to watch Game of Thrones spinoff in a couple weeks? No, I'm going to let you guys watch it, and then you report back to me. And if it's worth the watch, I'll check it out. If it's just okay, my plan is I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna binge watch it. Could The Walking Dead just die? I mean, I wish they would just sell it. I mean, we should just sell it. When I said 8 years ago, when I made the prediction that The Walking Dead is the new, at the time I compared it to Star Wars, but I really should have just called it like the new modern day franchise, like the MCU or yada yada yada. I called this fucking, in season 1. I said if done right, the zombie show has 50 years now. I was thinking a lot cleaner though, meaning like one full story, and then they can reboot movies and they can reboot games and have different characters, like real spin-offs, but not these desperate ones. But The Walking Dead's not going anywhere, man. It's just going to get rebooted after taking a few years off. Anyhow, we do have to get ready to shut down. Here's the poll. Any last comments or questions? The poll ends with a closer 69 with 31. 31 because I love it. I watch The Walking Dead because I love it. 32%, which is still, in the scheme of things, this is rough. Now, this is only this is only limited, very limited, but this is rough. And the reason I'll say that is because of this. Most of the people watching nowadays are still watching through everything. Mine went boop, beep, boop, boop. Through everything. So there's definitely enough there that I don't want to word it wrong. It's not like the ones watching love everything, but it's the majority of it. Forget about people watching because they just need to see how it ends. We're talking about the ones that love it. They've stuck through everything so far, even like the worst of the worst seasons, where it would probably take like the biggest downgrade for them to be like, okay, no, I've had it, because I've talked to fans. I'm like, it really doesn't bother you that it's in the woods? Like, there's no argument here. There's no locations. They fake locations. They'll take like the top of a rooftop top. Remember in season 11? For fucking 3 episodes, we're on top of a rooftop. Like, god damn. And then they're like, no, don't bother me at all. I'm into it. And it's like, that's fine. I'm not knocking anyone, but god damn, the locations are so fucking... Even when they change locations, it's like the same fucking gutted building, and they string up lights differently. There it is, you know? You ever notice that? Even when our characters go into buildings, they'll have once in a while a scene where it looks like the old world, but remnants of it. But anymore, it looks like an actual abandoned building that was redressed during a post-apocalyptic scenario. So it was abandoned before, like, it looks fucking terrible. They rarely, I think recently they were in a school, right? You don't see like a bunch of shit that it was a school that got abandoned. It looked like an abandoned school that got abandoned after the, downfall. Anyhow, the poll has ended at 31-69. That's a higher amount of votes, to be honest, than I expected. I did expect at least like 80% that just wants to see how it ends. But I'm not all that surprised because, like I said, if people are watching it still, they're more than likely, there's a good chance that they're in it to, for the characters, the show itself. They're just in it. It's hard. I want to say that without insulting anybody. I don't mean it to be an insult, but I want to watch my words carefully because I don't mean it to be an insult. Are you gonna? All right. Daredevil gonna be a dumpster fire as well. Kingpin was ruined in that shitfest Hawkeye. He was in Hawkeye. Oh, I didn't see that. You're talking about the TV show. I didn't see that. Supposedly the Punisher from Disney won't include John Bernthal. Really? Definitely going to skip that woke dumpster fire. That sucks. John Bernthal was a great Punisher. Oh, House of the Dragons is going to be great. If it's great, let me know. I'll check it out. I'm probably not watching it day one though, but I'm going to check it out. No, soft batch. I froze. I was trying to word it so I'm not like, insulting anybody, but let me get rid of that. Look at this fucking picture. She got wiped out, bro. What the fuck? Here's the Tales from the Walking Dead. Oh, God. I think it's all the same shit over and over. $69 is your favorite number? Normac. Figures. I only keep up the show because I want to see the end of an investment I made in 2010. I have little payoff, but it won't happen. Well, I mean, comparatively, I don't think The Walking Dead has the same woke problems as some of the other stuff that's really pumping it in there, which in ridiculous ways. Like, they'll do it in a way that injures the one character or the next. Like, it's really funny. Like, you know how something is forced, but it's kind of funny? Like, for example, you have Prey recently with Predator. Well, they do try to incorporate this little woke slant with the girl trying to fight gender norms, which for the time it's ridiculous because she talks like a girl from today, not like a girl back then. And I'm not talking about traditionalism. I'm talking about actually living in that world and what you have to do. But here's the thing. Native Americans are minorities. So you got to be very careful. You can't fuck around. So they can have a few of the guys in the group being dicks. But if you look real close, the majority of the tribe is just silent backdrop. That's it. Even the chief, he's just kind of there, hands the war chief a stick. Hey, he doesn't even say anything. So you can see it's real purposeful where they want to squeeze it in there, but they got to be careful. They have a couple of the guys that are dicks. I think one is a major dick, but they don't want to push it too much. Because again, you know, they're in the class of people that got to be where they got to walk on eggshells around what they do. So even when it comes to the brother, they have him who is seemingly supportive, you know, but it's in this supportive, but also kind of not, kind of like a man of the times, rough area where, in all honesty, they could have made a simple fix of switching it up a bit. And I've talked about this, and I do think the reason they don't is because they have their eye, you know, it's that tunnel vision where they want something in there and they're going to get it in there. But then, you know, that can't nick this or this because those are arteries as well. Arteries means it'll like overly offend somebody. But the only time I quit watching The Walking Dead universe for a little while was halfway through season 5 of Fear, but then I binged the rest of season 5 before 6 came out. Gotcha. Jason Coates, you have... See, I agree with you that The Walking Dead is a shell of what it used to be, but I'll disagree with you about we've seen everything there is to see. See, here's the thing is, in that context, we should never watch another zombie show ever, because there's nothing new you can make. And I disagree immensely. I think there's ways to film it, different stories to tell, that The Walking Dead showrunners haven't even thought about. And there's going to be a zombie movie that comes out in the next couple years that's fantastic. And we're going to look at that and say, see, The Walking Dead could have done something similar, story-wise. It's the budget and the creativity that goes into the show that's strangling it. There's stuff for us to see with zombies. They're just not quite doing it. Will you be playing The Last of Us Part 1 on release day from noon to midnight here on the Ronnie Hayes channel? The Ronnie Hayes channel, and right now it is starting anywhere between noon and 2. We have a chunk of time open, but again, if it slows down, we're going to do it in smaller chunks. So it's not guaranteed, BitNova, but we are jumping anywhere from noon to 2 p.m. to start it as of right now. I'll probably have an exact time closer to the date, but between noon to 2 on the Ronnie Hayes channel. That's when we're going to... September is when we kick off the Ronnie Hayes channel. Maybe a few days early. I don't know. Depends on when we get everything moved over. Maybe we'll do it sooner. Move over the content officially, but we'll see. We're going to do a few more on this channel. That way to let people know. John Barthol is actually Disney's Punisher. Pretty sure is TVMA too. Well, you're saying he's the Punisher. Someone else said he's not. So, is he or isn't he? Good night, Ronnie. Thanks for stream. See you tomorrow. Oh, see you tomorrow, Soft Batch. Tails looks exactly the same as The Walking Dead and looks bland. Yibbers. If only there were white Native Americans. There was in Dances with Wolves. Not really sure what you mean by that, though. I don't think we need white Native Americans, though. I mean, I personally don't want white Native... Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, even joke-wise, I don't want a fucking white Native American. I'm fine if we got one, if it made sense story-wise. Like young kid that got left behind and they took him in as one of the tribe. That's happened in history before. There's been true accounts of it. I think there was one woman who was in this one tribe of Indians slaughtered the family, and if I remember it right, and another tribe found the baby, and they raised her like one of their own. Again, we'd have to look up the story. I think her story ended up being real sad too. She got found by Westerners, and I think they tried to re-put her back into society, and she ended up killing herself. I mean, if it's the one I'm thinking of, I don't know. Again, you have to double check, but I think that might be similar to one. I watched so many history shit over the years. Some of it's a bit mixed, but anyway, I want to see Native Americans. I love the look, the visual look. That's why I thought they went a little bit light with it. They did a little black and it was fucking it. Some of them had a little headdress or whatnot, but I wanted to see more stuff, like a bone tomahawk. Fucking a bone tomahawk going against the Predator. Then again, I don't know if the Sioux, the Comanche, headbone tomahawks. I doubt all of them use the same weapons. Never worry about insulting anyone, Ronnie. Do not go PC on us. No, I didn't mean it like that, like insulting. I meant like insulting part of us in the community. I don't want to just go around being a dick. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was known. Like, you know, the restaurants where the waiters talk shit on you. I would love if we had a stream like that, but you never know. Someone could report it and take it. YouTube might take it some type of way, you know? But I would love us to be able to go like, come on, you know, Phantom, that's a dumb fucking idea. Yo, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be a lot more relaxed, because then you can just say whatever. You can test the waters with more jokes that way. And then if the jokes don't work, it don't work. But if it does, you got to laugh. I think part 1 was wasted on those pointless Reapers. I would have liked to see more. You mean part 2? I'd like to see more of Michael Bain, but had no... Oh, the Rose Reapers. I thought you meant something else. I thought you meant Last of Us. What were they called? There's fucking Reapers, Rippers, Rapers. I don't know. There's fucking everything. Bane had no time. Yeah, I don't know why they did that right away. How about a possible Train to Busan 3? Yeah, right. I'm sure you have mentioned this before, but what would you say is your top 3 The Walking Dead seasons? Top 3, no bullshit. 1, that's a tricky one. I'd have to rewatch some of them. Right now, I'm going to say no bullshit. 1, 4, and 1, 2, and 4. No bullshit. Chaos says, you're buying that hot trash Last of Us remake for the 3rd time and spending $70 on it. Wow. Yes. I'm streaming it. So, unless you want to steal it for us and send it in day 1, but I'm going to stream it day 1. I'll let you know when I get my hands on it. I personally think it should be 50. I think if anyone wants it to be 20, I think you're ridiculous, entitled, and I'd probably want to say a lot of harsher things, but people saying the remake should be 20 don't have a fucking clue about what went into it. What went into it was not quite what they said. However, what they said was misleading as fuck. They knew it sounded different than what they were saying. But I made a video about it. The Last of Us, for me as a fan, the remake is going to do something the original can never do. Last another 10 years. Because when you play it, I played the original last night. And then I played The Last of Us 2. And I tell you what, holy fuck, is there a difference in how smooth... And fuck graphics. The graphics is going to be an upgrade itself. But if the remake plays as smooth as Part 2 does, and I mean as something simple as when you take off your backpack, in 1, it is clunky as fuck. You take off your backpack, you better make sure the fighting is over, or you run away, hide around a corner, you take the backpack off. And what I noticed is the button inputs. When you hit the button to take the backpack off, until Joel puts the backpack on the ground in the animation, you cannot hit the button again to cancel it. So let's say you made a mistake and a clicker is coming and you want to put the backpack back on, you can't do it until Joel puts it on the ground. These are small things, but these are big quality of life things when it comes to the combat. Because in Part 2, you could be quick with it. You're in mid-fight, duck behind a car, whip off your backpack, zoom, Ellie pulls it out, zoom, throws the backpack back on. You're rocking and rolling and switching different weapons, and it's slick and the animation is still there. Gorgeous. When you're picking up weapons and ammo and yada, yada, yada. In the original game, it is very like clunky-ish, you know, here, and it's not meant for that. It just isn't as smooth as Part 2 with the engine and all that. Add in 60 frames a second, and then add in the graphics, add in the extras that we can play with. These are options like bullet time is a fun one where as soon as you aim, it goes into slow motion. And that's a fun one because then when you set a trap and aim and all this stuff, you can watch the infected slowly blow up and blow in half, or the gunshots, someone gets half their face blown off. The animations are great. The slow motion is great. These are all fun things that you can add to, and it looks amazing. So yeah, I'm paying $70. Not a problem at all. And we will play it and know it without a doubt. If it was totally worth it for 70, but I still feel like $50 everyone should feel. Yeah, $50. Yeah, because again, the remake is doing something the original can never do. Last another 10 years smoothly. The original is. But I feel you. You said you're not trolling. Thank you very much for the dono. I get you're not trolling. I didn't take it as that, but you're all good, brother. I promise. Season 5 is my favorite. I love how brutal Rick is and how the group is nothing to lose. See, there's a lot I like in 5. It's not that I don't dislike it. It's just, I think in the totality of it, there's episodes in 5 where I won't even watch one whole episode. I won't even go near it in 5. That's the episode with Beth when her and Daryl are looking for booze. I won't even watch it again. I refuse. Season 2 doesn't have an episode that I skip. Season 4 and season 1, none of them have episodes. So I kind of rated it like that overall. But there's stuff in 5 I really do like. I like Terminus. I like how quick and brutal. I like how the people from Terminus come after them. I like how Rick tricks them. Can't wait to platinum Last of Us a third time. Yeah, I bought Last of Us day 1. I remember I was eating at my girlfriend's house. I said, hey, because my girlfriend was not the mother of my daughter. And I was like, yo, can you watch Juliet a minute? I'm going to run to Best Buy because it was me and Juliet eating at my girlfriend's parents' house because we went over to have dinner. And we were close to Best Buy. So I was like, yo, I'm going to run around the corner. Can you watch her for a minute? Longtime girlfriend, not just like met up, And at that time. And I ran over day 1. I remember getting it, being like, because I was hyped. Post-apocalyptic, that was my shit. And then I think it took like another day until I had time. I got off work. I put it in. And fucking loved it. And then when the remaster came out, I was busy. But I ended up picking it up quickly. But I remember paying $20 for it. Cheap. Nothing like crazy. So it might have taken a little bit. So then if I pay 70 now, it will be buying it a third time for, the first one was what, 60? Or maybe 50. I think PlayStation 3 was 50, right? 50, 20, so about 140 for the same game, yeah. And in 10 years. Yeah, I think 40 would be like home run prices for the remake. 50's kind of like, okay, we're at that top-notch price. 60 and 7, I just feel like there's something else there. I feel like it's a contractual thing. I know, for example, you're not allowed legally to sell digital games the same price as physical. And if you look at the reasons behind that, there's a contractual reason for that. A big store that's going to put your game on their shelf for $70 does not want you to put the digital version on your PlayStation for $50 and undercut them. The big stores will not stock your game if you undercut them. That's one of the bigger issues. That's one of the biggest issues with undercutting digital. There was a real good article I read on why isn't digital cheaper. You don't have to make the discs. You don't have to pay workers to print the discs. You don't have to make the cases. You don't have to pay workers to make the cases. So no disc, no case, no insert. And you're not paying people to make the discs, the case, the inserts, You're not paying for all that. And you're selling it for the same price as a physical. Well, because the stores will not take your shit and stock them. And I don't blame them. Would a store literally take a $70 item and then say, okay, we'll stock it on the shelf and we'll make whatever bullshit they make off it. But you're allowed to sell your digitals for $40 and compete with us? No fucking way. No fucking way. They'll never go for it. So I think that right now is the I mean, there's a lot more involved, but I think that right now is one of the big key factors in what, controls digital pricing. And there's some people who come out on their own outside of the I'm sure there's other reasons for that as well. That was so obnoxious and should have been killed off a lot sooner. Yeah, I agree. That episode you brought up is from season 4, actually. Haha. Well, what's the one in season 5 I'm thinking of? Because I stuttered there a minute, too, because I was thinking, wait a minute. It is, but you're right. It is in season 4 because it's after the prison and it's before she gets picked up. So what is the one I'm thinking of with Beth? There's the one where she dies. And there's Slab Town. Is that it? It's the whole Beth setup. All right. I'm gonna give you that one because what the fuck is the episode called? It was like Stay or Stray or some shit like that. The Beth looking for booze episode was bad, definitely. But Slab Town episode of season 5, I think it was like episode 4. That's the one I won't even fucking watch, with her and Don and them. Matter of fact, scratch that. Both of those, I take it back. I won't even fucking watch in season 4 and 5. So, Still, that's it. I knew it started with an S. Yeah, Still. In Slab Town. I think it's Slab Town. That's either that one or the one where she dies. I forget. That'd be funny if it was Slab Town. Because she ends up on a slab. Jason Coates says 70 is way too much. They didn't add factions to it. Factions is going to be a fully complete separate game. Stop. This is, I don't know. Bro, Factions is coming out. They're working on it. It's going to be better than we've ever had it before. Let it be its own thing instead of being tacked on to a full game. The game they're doing now is going to have fully functional levels that don't rely heavily on being tacked on to the initial game. You want Factions, so why aren't you happy that you're getting the best Factions we've ever had or ever could possibly have in a solo release? I'm cool with that. Put it on its own. I might even fucking jump on that shit. And I don't normally go for those multiplayer. It's usually just some add-on bullshit. But I'm cool with that because for what it sounds like they're putting, because they added more people on the team and all that, Factions isn't even a factor in my eyes. I don't give a flying shit about Factions as a price of the game. That's a whole separate entity. I know because it was in the first game, everyone's going to want it tacked on, but I don't know. I view them as two different things. I love Tales of the Walking Dead better than The Walking Dead because no boring Daryl or Maggie in it. Well, yeah, Bitnova, I think The Last of Us will sell. I am a bit cautious to see how much it sells, though, just because you don't know how many bots grabbed up the Steel. Like, the Steelbook sold out in an hour, but how many of them were bots? I don't know. But we'll see day one, and if it sells great, then so be it. Days Gone By is still an incredible episode, man. Love that shit. Yeah, I love that shit, too. But there's still a great solid chunk of Last of Us fans that are going to buy it day one. I didn't like it at all. We have this point in time where we're focusing on all these different characters and we're just with Beth and Daryl so they can split the storytelling up in order to push the budget around. And for me, it just felt flat. I'm glad you like it, though. Hot take, I think Tyrese's death episode is the hardest hitting episode of the show. I already disagree, but I understand where you're coming from. It's the final nail in the coffin for the gang. I get it. I was pissed at first when he got bit. I wanted everything to play out the way it did. I liked the way it played out. I just feel like it was real sloppy. I know it was trying to highlight they're worn out, he's exhausted, and yada, yada, yada. But I just feel like they could have done that in a better way of being exhausted. Yeah, I think it'll Spaceman. I think it will sell better at 50 for sure. However, in their eyes, it's a win-win because the mega fans are gonna be hurt the most because they'll pay for it day one. I mean, you might say, well, good for them, fuck them, yada yada. But I mean, in all honesty, and I'm the same way. If it's something that I want to wait for, I know it's because of the mega fans. So the way the pricing works is they'll release it and it'll be top price, top dollar. Mega fans will buy it. That's the hardcore viewer base. And then the fans that are on the fence and it's not, they can wait until the price lowers, they'll go ahead and grab it. Now, in this instance, the company itself is still making the 70 on all those sales and then the 50 on all the sales after. And then when it drops to 40 and then 30 and then 20, by that point, it's probably just straight profit, everything that sells at that point, I mean, when it goes down on sale, I don't know, you'd have to look up the shit, but it probably is legit straight profit at that point. They probably hit a point where they're like, all right, you know what? It's going to bring in money, yada, yada, yada. Knock it down some, get even more. But I want to see the numbers. I'm curious. I don't know if they do it like that. I think they count how many units sold. I don't know if they count how many units sold during what price point. I would be curious. Frankie said I might get Last of Us Remake just to see if my feelings changed about it since I'm having a daughter. Wonder if it'll see the game story differently. I saw the game story differently. And it was when Juliet was just born. I mean, she was like friggin'... what month did it come out? I forget. No, she was 4. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of The Walking Dead. Jesus Christ. She was about 4. 3 going into 4, because I don't know what... I think it came out in June, right? So yeah, she was 3 going into 4. And I viewed Ellie, even though my daughter was younger, I viewed Ellie more in Joel's shoes, which I don't do often. I know some people like to talk like they identify with every fucking character and everything, but I don't do that often. I identify with situations they find themselves in or feelings they have, but never like, oh, Joel's a white guy, I identify with him. I don't have anything in common with Joel. He listens to country. I fucking hate country. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway... and I viewed it like that daughter, not purposefully though. It kind of grew on me as she grew on to Joel, because she threw a brick and saved my ass legitimately in the game, and I thought that was so cool. I wasn't expecting it. That was before I would watch, breakdown videos on YouTube. YouTube wasn't even, it was up, but it wasn't like hardcore going nuts. There was some stuff, but it wasn't like analyzing. Well, maybe I just didn't find it. I should say it like that. I wasn't watching it like that. But this was before I was analyzing trailers and looking at shit deep, hearing about all the combat stuff. So I didn't even know she helped you out. So I got a kick out of it when she's trying to whistle, when she helps you out, when she has this talk about ordering a room at a hotel. A lot of that came as a surprise. I fucking loved it. Jason has the original Steelbook. I'm jealous. I want the original Steelbook. I'll never pay those prices, though. Fuck out of here. Some people sell it for insane prices. I have a custom one made, but the printing on it's real light. One day I want to get a replacement, maybe for the remake. I wanted the Steelbook for the remake, but I was working and it sold out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? But if I can find the Steelbook, I would like to get it for the remake. Because I have the Steelbook for part 2. I love that. It has Joel and Ellie on it. It came from Europe, I think. Or something like that. Or, nope, that was the Joker Steelbook. I think that came from... anyway. What up? Artemisia? Well, we're just about to end it, but thank you very much for stopping by. As someone who got Last of Us for PS4 for free on PS Plus, I can't see myself buying it for any more than $50. Well, I feel you on that. I mean, I guess maybe you can see it as. Yep, nope, I don't see it. I don't see it the same way. Like I had a like PlayStation Extra, so I got Demon's Souls for free and Valhalla for free and a number of different games for free, and I don't know. I guess I viewed it as like, oh, that's a hell of a a little deal I got. Had I really liked, like Elden Ring, for example, had I played that for free but then stopped with PlayStation Extra, I'd buy that for $50 easily, fast, because for me it'd be worth $50. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Like, you had it for free, so it's like, why pay for it? But I don't know. I would see it as like definitely value for it. But then again, I'm also somebody that's really annoyed when people talk about like, well, I just get it for free on I just pirate it for free on fucking on the internet, like movies and comics. It's fine if you do that. I mean, I don't give a fuck, I should say. But it's the people that tell others they should do it. Like that to me is the dumbest in the world. If we all do it, we won't have entertainment, You should thank people that buy it for... Not you. I mean, you're totally different. You were on a service that got it for free in a service that you paid a subscription price for. That's fine. But like some of these other people that are like, yeah, I don't read the Walking Dead comic. I just get it for free on this website. It's like, well, I'm glad the rest of us pay, or else we wouldn't have a fucking comic. And then we wouldn't have a fucking TV show. My Firefly edition better not be stolen by my UPS driver like my PS5, like it's a PS5. Oh, fuck. Which showrunner do you prefer, Scott Gimple or Ian Goldberg or Andrew? I'd take Scott Gimple. Even with Scott Gimple, I'm frustrated, but I can still watch it. Ian Goldberg and Andrew Chambliss or whatever, I can't even watch it. I don't know, AP. I don't think Stray is doing that great for views, but it's a newer game, so it's worth a shot, I guess. I've read Invincible by Robert Kirkman, but I haven't had a chance to check out the show. I will eventually get around to it. It's just that I'm really not in the cartoon look. And I understand, I like how it looks like the comic. I think it's kind of neat. But for long, like if it was a 15-minute short, I'd be able to, I'll watch it right now, But being in the long run, 5 minutes in, I'm always thinking, I'll just watch a movie. I don't know. I've been that way for everything. Even Teen Titans. Attack on Titan, I love the concept so much. But half hour in, I just want to watch a movie, live action or something. I'm just not into anything that's art, that's motion picture art, Yeah, you missed getting a steelbook for the remastered version, which I had that one, but I also got The Last of Us Part 2 steelbook. Yeah, I have The Last of Us Part 2. I have both steelbooks. I think I have one right next to me. Yeah, I have this one here. It's got Ellie and Abby on it. And then, where'd it go? I just fucking had it. It was up here somewhere. It's got Ellie and Abby on it. But my favorite one is the steelbook over there with Ellie and Joel. And that one, I believe, came from the UK, if I'm not mistaken. That was a UK exclusive. Do you agree with the casting for Joel and Ellie for the TV show? No, I do not. I think the casting is lazy and safe. LollyTube. Hey, yo, Ronnie, just want to stop by and say hello to you and Julia. Well, thank you very much, LollyTube, for stopping by. I appreciate that. Any last minute comment? Get it in now while we shut this down. I do appreciate the support. Keep in mind, we are in the middle of this year to the end of this year. We're chilling on this channel, taking a break, and then we're going to come back with some more official content. I want to have it done because I do this for a hobby, right now it's for a hobby. So I'm kind of separating it a little cleaner. We're going to be moving the gaming to Ronnie Hayes. Megapath Presents will still have the Speak Your Geek podcast. I am finding a home for the Flaversaw reviews. But like I said, we're going to be chilling for a little bit. And Pedro is better fit than Ellie casting, even if I hate the casting of Joel. I think Pedro is a better fit. I think, again, I still think he's just lazy casting because, obviously, you know, he was in Mandalorian. It fits. He's an actor that's in relevant stuff that fits. He's a good actor, so that's also a thing that's going for him. And also, he's, like I said, he's not white, you know, but white enough. And then you have Ellie, who's I just think is a terrible fit altogether. It just, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Oh, she was in Game of Thrones. She'll be fine. I saw her in the trailer for something else, and I'm like, and don't get me wrong, she was fine in the trailer. I'm sure she's a good little actor. She was fine in Game of Thrones. But for the character of Ellie, I don't fucking see it. As much as I try and just go, you're overthinking it, you know, just, maybe it's, you know, I don't see it at all. I don't fucking see it at all. Will I review The Last of Us show when it comes out? Yeah, we'll talk about the show. I have to. I mean, it's my favorite video game of all time. I have to at least talk about the premiere at the very least. But if anyone did have any ideas, you can let me know. Put a thought and opinion in the comment box about the crossing over the content. Like if there's some content here that you wanted, somebody mentioned montaging some streams. For example, some of my older streams, like we did Days Gone, taking the Days Gone streams, I think there's like 10 of them, and literally just pulling the best bits out of it and making like 1 hour, 2 hour long montage of just the best moments, and do that for different things. You know, you guys let me know. We can do a greatest hits of the Q&A, and again, this is just we'll see. The Q&As, if we ever had any Q&A questions that were great predictions for the show that ended up being weirdly accurate or so far off it's not funny, but edited in a clever way for The Walking Dead or anything else. And you guys let me know about those as well. What else was there? There's a couple other suggestions, but hey, I gotta move. This new setup, I gotta change this pop filter after I move because I keep punching it. How bad is Tales from The Walking Dead? I think it's the worst thing The Walking Dead has ever done to date. So that's my view of it. I've watched bits and pieces, and I can't even force myself to watch the whole thing. It looks fucking awful. Even the stuff I haven't seen, I heard about, and the story beats sound fucking terrible. They changed the origin of the Whispers. They changed it for Alpha, which doesn't make any fucking sense because we see her create the Whispers in episode 2 of season 10. What the fuck? She literally breaks down the whole origin and the whole theme of the Whispers and all that. Anyway, episode 1 is pointless. 2 is goofy comedy with a connection, to the highway of season 1. It's like, it's so desperate and cheap. That's how it feels. Tales is a whole lot of wasted potential. What is Gimple doing? World Beyond and this are weak, and he is a showrunner on Rashon. Yikes. Yeah, the more it comes out, I mean, I know AMC is definitely propping him up, but the more it comes out, it's like, bro, man, I know you're not in charge of all the stories, but you're definitely in charge of, like, the whole thing overall, man. Like, you gotta help us out here. We have one episode. The only fucking point of the episode is because it shows us what happened to these people on a highway that Rick Grimes walked through for like 30 seconds and then shot the teddy bear girl. Oh, I forgot to ask my guy that. That actually would be interesting. That would be the only thing interesting, is if they did the origin of the teddy bear girl. Why didn't I ask him that? I think it's the same area. I have to double check if it's the same area or not. And if it is, and they don't do the origin of the teddy bear girl, or at least an Easter egg of the teddy bear girl, then why didn't they do that, But anyhow, Yeah, that's the whole fucking episode. And the only thing is, unless there's something in there else, you know. This one with the girl going, oh, you know. Tails isn't bad, but it's nothing special. But this pilot should have been a banger to hook us. They need a Darabont. Are they any dumpsters in Tales of the Walking Dead? I don't know. Oh, Last of Us Part 2 stream? Yeah, that was a banger. We could do a montage of those as well. Unless there's nothing really interesting during the montages. I don't know. You guys let me know. Because that would be like editing time. That. Will you be playing the Callisto Protocol? Yep, it's already pre-ordered. When it comes out, gives me Dead Space 5. Yeah, that's on my must-play list. It's already pre-ordered. And it will be on the Ronnie Hayes channel. Dude, I looked at the clock when it was like an hour, and I was thinking, all right, it's still early. We can go a little bit longer, but then we have to shut down. And now it's 3 hours. We got to roll, man. I got to go. Do you think we will get a franchise Factions trailer on The Last of Us Day in September? I don't know. I don't know how far along they are. I would imagine we could get some hype after the game comes out. It would make sense. But it might be too soon, just because the hype, you want the game to get the hype in September, and then you want Factions to get hype when the game starts to cool off, so you can kind of flow with it. So I don't know, but soon, I think. Callisto Protocol has an insane looking statue with the collector's edition. I know! Austin threw down 50 on the collector's edition, and I was going to do a few more streams and then take the tips and pre-order that and then review that bitch, have that in the background, but that shit looks fire. I don't know. I'm still like, it's up in the air. We'll see how good the streams do leading up to Callisto Protocol, though. But all right, I gotta get going. See you later. Alligators is damn right. It is 3 hours talking about The Walking Dead. I must be fucking nuts. Be safe, guys. I'm out of here. Tomorrow on this channel, we're gonna do another gaming stream, and then starting next week, the week after that, we'll be transitioning over to Ronnie Hayes. So meet us there for September, The Last of Us on my Ronnie Hayes channel. Links are down below. Goodbye. Be safe.